At this time, would you please rise? And gentlemen, please remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem, followed by the Upper St. Clair alma mater. Finally, in recognition of our amazing community volunteers, it's time for our official legacy salute, borrowed from the West Virginia University Marching Band. Here's the USC Victory March.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's competition. You are paid complimentary admission to this event. It allows you to enjoy an exhibition of skills developed by students in an educational setting. Please give these students your positive encouragement and support. Moving, taunting, or intimidating the officials or opponents is unfriendly and unacceptable. Tonight's officials: referee Kevin Rombach, umpire Nick Zimmerman, head linesman Bill Schottenheimer, line judge Adam Schottenheimer, field judge Dave Berry, and sides judge Cameron Aguglia.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Upper St. Clair Panther Stadium. We got another big one under the Friday night lights, and the Canon-McMillan Big Macs are in town, and they are a very tough squad. The Panthers coming off their first defeat of the year last week. They dropped a heartbreaker to Bethel Park. They're still sitting at 6-1, 2-1 in the conference, looking very strong, but they do look to bounce back tonight. I have the distinct pleasure this evening to have a dear friend of mine join me, somebody I've been asking to get up here for a while. He was class of 2005, outstanding wide receiver on the WPIAL finalist team in 04, the WPIAL semifinalist team in 05, very successful businessman now. I also got the pleasure of coaching him in basketball. Bobby Petrini, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Hey, Gavin, it's a pleasure. I appreciate it. You do a great job with this, and I'm happy to make the short list.
So, Bob, last week, the Panthers finally hit their first roadblock of the season. They hit some adversity. They got punched in the mouth. I talked to a bunch of the kids this week, and they flat out said, we got pushed around. You've been in locker rooms where, teams expected to win, you lose a game. How is the mentality all week in practice, and how do you sort of build from that and go forward the next week?
Yeah, I think, you never want to lose, especially regular season, but the good news, it was a regular season game. They still got a shot to regroup for their last two section games, and tonight's going to be a great chance to kind of get back and, get back at it.
Let's talk about the Big Macs a little bit. We see the captains out there taking the toss. I want to recognize Aiden Kahn, 33, Zach Ehos, 52, Mark Banbury, 55, Aiden Besselman, 4. Those are our 4 senior captains. Canon-Mac is 3 and 4. It's a little misleading. They play in 6A. 6A is an absolute juggernaut. They played they played Central Catholic very close. Mm-hmm. They played Bethel Park probably more competitively than St. Clair did, led for most of the game, lost by 8. So this is not a pushover football team. This is a really good football team. They are very well coached. They have a very prolific offense.
Yeah, they're going to come out hot. St. Clair, it's always good when they're playing Canon-McMillan. We always have the target on our back, and those kids come ready to play.
So let's talk a little bit about the personnel. Canon-Mac is very versatile offensively. They have one of the leading rushers in any classification. He'll be number 28, Jacob Casper. He's a senior. He's a little bit like Austin Kai, who we saw last week for Bethel. He's not tall, but he's a very strong kid, and he's tough to bring to the ground. The Panthers will have to tackle a little better than they did last week. In the passing game, the coach's son, so Mike Evans is the coach of Canon-Mac's, done a great job here, and his son Michael is the junior quarterback. He's done a really good job. He throws to a variety of targets, but his number 1 option is number 2, Austin Winkleblack. So the Panthers, this may not be something where they run it down our throats like they did last week, but this is going to be a tough team to deal with on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and, they got the big O-line, and we got to get, offense of the Panthers out there. Last week we got, I think 3-1 in time of possession. We can't have that happen this week if we want a chance to win this game. So that big line needs to get controlled with Canon-Mac, and we got to get as many 3-and-outs as we can tonight. Yeah,
that was a huge problem last week, getting off the field. They did not do well on third down. They also did not do well on first down. It put them in very manageable situations, and it's tough to really critique the offense much last week because they just didn't have the ball very much. So I talked to a bunch of the coaches on the offensive side of the ball. This seems like this may be more of a passing attack than we're used to for the Panthers. They seem to think Canon-Mac was susceptible to in the pass game. It'll be very interesting to see if sophomore Julian Dallum takes to the air a little bit more early in games as opposed to trying to establish the run.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night tonight. The athletes should be on display. It'd be nice to open it up to Besselman and Marn. And I think if we're able to get that rhythm going, there should be no problem.
All right, so we're ready to kick it off here. The Panthers are in their home blacks, going left to right on your screen. The Big Macs are in their road whites, going to right to left. This is junior Bennett Henderson, who's been just outstanding in the kicking game. I rave about him every week, and he deserves that. He's got a very high percentage in terms of touchbacks, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can kick it deep or they'll do something else. And he does go deep, and it is almost to the goal line here. Canon-Mac's going to take it about their own 2. They're heading up the middle. Tries to cut through a hole, but Gordon Groniger, number 41, and Van Helman, number 23, bring him to the ground around the 25-yard line. So the Panther defense, the one thing I do want to point out here is Jacob Huffnagel, who's been the top cover corner for the Panthers for basically the better part of 2 years, is hurt. And I sort of suggested that we might see Aiden Besselman, number 4, at corner. It does appear that is the formation, at least right now. Groniger, 41, is the other corner. Timmy Spear, number 17, the senior, will be our safety. The linebackers are Lagoni, 43, Jamal Brown, 7, Shea Moorhead, 34, Aiden Kahn, 33. And then we have a 4-down line, which is a little bit different, although that looks like Ivory Travers, number 11, who's just down the lineman. This is Evans. He's a lefty. He's rolling to his left. He's looking to throw. Still looking to throw, and he's pushed out of bounds. Jamal Brown, good pursuit. Not much there for the Big Macs.
Yeah, great coverage by the Panthers. You see them testing the backup free safety early on, and they him tough there.
Yeah, Bob, I was told that Evans is a mobile guy. He's not looking to run, but he can run. Do you see extra challenges when you have a quarterback who is a run threat?
No, there's no doubt. You can't over pursue on the D-line, and you have to be a little more cautious when pursuing. But
So, okay, and Evans is a lefty also, which it's a little bit unusual, but probably not awful. Most of these guys seem to be able to throw well, rolling both ways, which is amazing to me. So we're at 2nd and 13 here. Was probably considered a sack on the first play. This is Casper. Oh, nice job by Nate Stoll, number 58, the sophomore. Came off his block and made a tackle for, maybe a gain of 2. I was told that the guy across from Stoll is a monster size-wise, so Nate's got his hands full, but that was a really nice first play.
That was a great chance for the Panthers. Stop them here, get the ball back, good field position, and get the first score.
Well, here's what we talked about, Bob. It's about 3rd and 10. This is the situation you want to get them off schedule, but you got to get off the field on 3rd down. It was a little demoralizing last week when they got them into 3rd and manageable situations. They seem to get it every time. This is, a little bit of a test for the Panthers to see if they can improve that 3rd down stuff here. All right, so this is Evans again. They've got 3 receivers and Casper sidecar. There you got a slant going. And nice job. Besselman closed the gap. That's Benjamin Urso, 12, who they look for on the slant. He actually was a quarterback last year and moved to receiver this year, but pretty good coverage from Besselman. Pass in the first test. This will be a punt.
Great coverage, and Banbury taking on 3 linemen, getting the pressure on the quarterback to make him release it.
That's something else we can watch. We typically have we rush 3 guys, and against Bethel, that didn't work at all, but against Peters, they got pressure all night with 3 guys. It'll be interesting to see if we need to change that. So this is Ty Lagoni back to return. Canon-McMillan's going to punt it. Not a bad kick. Lagoni up, he catches it on the run. Nice stuff from Ty Lagoni because he fielded it, and that ball was going to have overspin and maybe bounce, but it's going to be good field position for the Panthers, although a flag is down. Did you see anything there?
I didn't see anything. I don't know what it could be.
I don't either. There wasn't really a long return, and from where it was thrown, you figure it was some sort of infraction on the return, but
holding.
So it's holding on the Panthers. So that does hurt the field position a little bit. The 41 was going to be great field position. 31 is not bad. So, any expectations, Bobby? You were at practice yesterday. Any expectations in terms of what we might see from the Panther offense?
No, I think it's get back to fundamentals, let the line reestablish itself and find a rhythm.
Yeah, last week they were just off the field so much that it was very difficult to kind of get that, get that rhythm and get that pace back in the offense. But here we are, 1st down. This is Dallum, and he is going to throw the first play, and it's going to be a screen. Here's Jamal out of the backfield. Tried to make one guy miss. They still got him. He's going to get about 2 or 3, but pretty good pursuit from Canon-Mac.
Yeah, they played that well, but they get Dallum going early, get him in the rhythm. I think that's a great play call.
Yeah, the guys like to talk about just getting a completion under his belt, a short completion early, get him a little confidence. He threw so few times last week. Rhythm's the word you use. He never really got in a groove. All right, 2nd and 8 for the Panthers here. Jules is going to throw again. Uh-oh, it's an out here. Oh, did you see Best get that left foot in?
Great catch.
Just superior athleticism and body control. Going to be about a 7-yard game. That's beautiful stuff from number 4.
Double coverage, great pass, only where Besselman can get it, and he brought it in. Amazes
me, Bobby, and you're a receiver, just the body control these guys have to get a foot down on a play like that. Just incredible. So now we're at 3rd and 2. This is the definition of staying on schedule, as Coach Junk likes to talk about. Instead of 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 7, which they've had a little bit too much of that the past 2 weeks, I think. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, especially when you have a mobile quarterback, is exactly what you want to see. All right, Canon-Mac's got creeping a lot of guys in towards the line of scrimmage here. Here's Jamal. He's going to get to the outside. Oh, he's got to make a cut. Makes another guy miss. Gets to the inside. Gets all the way down to the Big Mac's 37. Great run by JB.
Beautiful run. Canon-Mac stopped the middle. He was patient, kicked it to the outside, and broke it loose.
Yeah, it looked like, Bobby, it looked like they were sort of shooting some linebackers, and when Jamal got to the outside, didn't seem like he had much resistance there.
No, that was great patience, great vision to find that lane.
All right, so that first down is beautiful. You don't want to get 3rd and out, but now we're in business. 37-yard line of the Big Macs, and you have to get Jamal going. He just never seemed to find his footing last week because, again, they just simply weren't on the field. Had a great game against Mount Lebanon. All right, and it's been, it's been heavy pass so far for the Panthers, which kind of what we talked about a little bit in the intro. Here's Jules again. He's got Bess. He's going downfield, just overthrew him. But, boy, that's a great sign if you're the Panthers, because Bess ran what looked to be maybe some sort of a skinny post and was wide open.
Wide open, just missed it, but they like that play call. We're going for it. We're playing to win here.
So, Bobby, is it something where because the Panthers are so run-heavy typically, they just don't have enough help over the top, or is Best just so outstanding he's open all the time?
I mean, he's been open in the first 2 passes we've seen.
So they fake to Jamal. Here comes Jules up the middle. He sneaks forward, gets about 4 or 5, gets to about the 33. So, we talked about this last week in terms of, maybe setting it up in 4-down territory.
Yeah, it's 3rd and manageable, and this may be 2 downs to get it.
So formationally, we've seen a lot of different things from the Panthers. Right now, they've got double tight end in. Hunter Schreck, number 35. Shea Moorhead, the usual tight end, number 34. Jamal's a sidecar left, and we have 2 receivers, Cody and Bess. The other thing is Huffnagel's also a receiver, so we're sort of down receivers. Here's a little out pattern to Bess. Going to try to sneak. You got to get forward to the marker. Does not do it. He might have tried to be getting the big play instead of just getting upfield there, but he does get to the 29, so we've got what looks to be 4th and 2. We got Coach Render again next to us. You got something for me here, Coach. I feel like you have something to say. Oh, you mean on the in motion?
Oh, yes.
So we got a little fortunate not to get whistled there, is what you're telling me.
Correct. You usually see.
Oh, I thought that was the case, but where I'm not clear all the time is the rules. It did look like he was going forward, but sometimes the high school rules, I feel like they shift.
This isn't Canadian football.
So they faked to Jamal, and Jules is up the middle. He's going to get the first down without much issue. Going to get to about the 26 or 25. So nice little play call there, Bob.
That was some great push up front. The center, Zach. He got that push. Donald followed him up the middle for the first down.
Yeah, let's get a little love to our line. 75, Marcus Fennell is the left tackle. Nate Stoll, 58. Zachy Haas, as we just mentioned, 52, the center. You also see him a lot on defense. Mark Banbury, number 55, the leader of the line group. And 78, the junior Marco Carone at the right tackle. New set of downs for the Panthers at the 26er. Fakes it to Jamal, going to roll out. Jules is looking upfield, going to throw. Ooh. So it looked like he was looking for Moorhead there. It went off his hands, and Bess actually adjusted and almost caught the football, but be incomplete. Bob, we talked about this last week. It seems like Jules likes to throw more rolling to his left. Is that a little unusual for you for a righty?
I think it is a little bit unusual. You're kind of going against the motion and going against your momentum, but hey, if he's comfortable doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I like to shoot as a righty going to my left. I feel like my shoulder's already square, and that's different for a lot of people.
Oh,
yeah. All right, 2nd and 10. 26 Canon-McMillan, 7.5 to go in the first quarter. Panthers driving. Besselman again, slant pattern. Oh, nice block from, he made a great cut and almost got in the end zone. Boy, that was a beautiful little cut. But, the one thing I want to mention there is a really nice block down the field. What you don't, we talk about this a lot of times, but 44 Cam Phillips did a nice job sort of chipping on the corner and getting him extra yardage there.
It's a great route on the curl, turned it up, got a nice block, and 1st and goal.
All right, so 1st and goal for the Panthers at about the 9-yard line here, maybe the 10. Doesn't look like there's a place they can get a first down here, so Panthers going to have to use the entirety of the yardage here. So Jamal trying to make some impact there, but really nice play by Canon-McMillan. He came up and made a nice job making the tackle. He's a really good athlete. He's a recruited guy for the Big Macs, number 10, the tight end linebacker. Let's look for McMahon to be a very impact guy.
Hey, they can make plays too, but that doesn't mean we can't get it here. But that was a great play by McMahon.
Bob, are you expecting some more kind of getting Julian on the move here?
I'd like to see Besselman in the right corner right now, so let's see what we do.
Okay, Bobby's calling Bess in the corner. It's Bess on a slant. Boy, that looked like that came early there. No call. Maybe the ball was a little bit high, but it did look like the back Winkleblack, who's also their receiver, got there a little early, but maybe called uncatchable. All right, Bob, play OC here. Would you like to see Besselman in the corner here?
I'd like to give Donald maybe a run pass option, roll him out to the probably to the left where there's a little bit more space, and let them make the right play.
Okay, so we got Cam Phillips is in the slot, number 44, and Lagoni in the game. Again, we're going to have to see some different guys with the loss of Huffnagel in the passing game. We have Jamal out. Jules gets rushed. He's still going. Now he throws in the end zone, wide open. Magic from Julian Dallin, making two guys miss. Cam Phillips with a big catch in the end zone. Panthers strike first, 6-0.
Yeah, he kept that play alive. He rolled left, made a great pass, and touchdown Panthers.
So, Bob, we talked about this with Canon-Mac's offense. Same thing in terms of you got to get the quarterback to the ground when he's a run threat. And Jules did a really nice job of making guys miss. And I have to imagine that's an extra challenge for the Big Mac defense.
He made one guy miss and bought himself 3 extra seconds.
And kept his highs up. Bennett Henderson, Mr. Automatic, splits the uprights, and the Panthers strike first here. They lead 7-0 with 6:18 to go in the first quarter. Bob, what did you like on that first drive from the Panthers?
It was forward progress on every play, whether it was 2 yards or 20. They kept moving forward every single play, and they got the 4th down conversion and punched it home afterwards.
Want to give a shout to my guy Lauren Anderson, who's given me lots of love here. Apparently his daughter Avielle, who's she's in the Canon-Mac school district, so maybe not a house divided, maybe a little bit, but she suggests that I talk fast. Probably accurate. I'll try to slow it down for the sake of the understanding and comprehension of my audience.
I think you do a great job, Gav.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. He also, Lauren, now he's an old guy like me, but he loves Coach Render's interjections too, so Coach always sort of is hesitant to participate here. We have to drag him in sometimes, but his value added is obvious. I get a lot of compliments on it. So,
I don't think you can.
all right, here's Bennett again. Now they're going to do that little short kick that's directional, and it's going to hit the ground. Oh, this is trouble. Oh, that was a nice athletic play to field it. Oh,
great,
beautiful stuff from Shea Moorhead, the middle line. No, that's Cam Phillips again after scoring the touchdown. Got a hold of his jersey outside the shoulder and got him to the ground. So great field position for the Panthers.
Great field position, score the touchdown, come back and make the tackle. Good. Love to see that.
Yeah, Bennett Henderson is so dangerous because he has a great leg, but you see the accuracy. He can do directional kicking beautifully, and he's just a huge weapon.
It's risky, but if you can pull it off, it can be impactful.
Yeah, anytime the ball hits the turf, I get a little nervous because it could bounce anywhere. So, Bob, what did you see on the first drive defensively from the Panthers, and what do you think might be sustainable for them?
I just say keep getting pressure, contain this big quarterback, and win the war up front.
And we got some movement. That's great. One thing we were very complimentary of Bethel Park last week was no penalties. I think they had one pre-snap penalty. They never got behind the sticks. They never got off schedule, and that's nice to see them, Canon-Mac, get a penalty, get them in a difficult situation on first down.
Gavin, I might interject here. Upper St. Clair looks like they have a little more juice tonight. They just look a little more excited than how we started last week.
Well, from talking to the kids, Coach, they got basically told they got punched in the mouth last week. That can't be fun in film. I mean,
or Mike Tomlin's word, we got smashed.
Well, it's one of those things, Coach, like, I never know what the message is going to be from the coaches, but when multiple players tell me we got pushed around, that was clearly the message. So here's 1st and 15. This is Casper. Nice hole there, but Shea Moorhead does a good job from his middle linebacker position coming up and getting him for a gain of about 4 or 5, so we're still going to have 2nd and long here. I just heard from Coach Malarkey. He said intelligent people always talk fast. Thanks, Coach. I love you, and I appreciate it. Your check's in the mail.
I guess I'm going to have to speed things up then.
I appreciate it. When all the legendary coaches tonight are giving me compliments, I love it. It's good for my self-esteem. All right, so 2nd and 10 here from the 17. The Big Macs have it, and they again are in the shotgun. This is Evans again. He's going to throw a wide receiver screen, and it is dropped. I'll be honest, it didn't look like there was a whole lot of room there. The pursuit was good. Groniger, Kahn, Travers, among others. So 3rd and 10. Again, Bobby, this is what we like to see.
This is what we like, and this is going to test the secondary. Something that I like to see, though, is we got some senior depth in the D-back position, and you see Besselman coming back in now at cornerback. So
yeah, it's interesting. This is what I love about football, and Coach and I talk about this all the time. The moves that you make are very obvious. It's very transparent. I love the fact that, okay, we're going to move our best athlete to the cover corner because we're missing our best cover corner, and now we're going to make teams adjust on us. And looks like he's going to be guarding Winklebleck a lot and try to cut that side of the field off. They're got him across the field. Oh, great pressure. That is the big fella, Marco Carone, number 78, the big junior. And they only rushed 3 guys again there, Bobby, and they got home. That's a great sign for the Panthers.
We're winning the battle up front right now, and that's showing the 2 3-and-outs by the Big Macs.
So 2 third downs, two stops for the Panthers. That's just a terrific sign right now. Momentum just never seemed to be in the Panthers' corner last week. It is nice to see the way they've started this football game. Low snap. Punt away. Punt is low. It's going to take a Big Mac hop. Lagoni's going to try it. No, that's okay. That's a pretty good result for the Panthers. It's a good punt, but it didn't change field position drastically. 38-yard line's a nice place to start. So, Bob, it seemed like on the last possession the Panthers were throwing to set up the run. Do you expect similar stuff, or do you think maybe they go opposite here, keep them guessing?
I'd like to keep seeing them exploit those DBs with the athletes on the outside. Just keep doing it.
And the guy we haven't seen is Cody Marn. I mean, Cody Marn made a catch last week. If you haven't seen it, go to Huddle or something, people. It was a special play by a special athlete. So this is not just the Aiden Besselman show. As good as he is, they got great players on the flank. So, interestingly enough, this formation has 2 receivers left. Bess in the slot, Cody outside, and Shea at tight end. Here comes Jamal. Oh, big Marcus Fennell is pulling. Jamal, can he get by? And he does. That's going to be a first down right there. Really nice stuff out of that formation. Marcus Fennell, big 75, did a nice job sealing the edge.
Nice block. Let him get to the second level, make a move. Is that a first down?
Looks like it is.
Yeah.
Maybe
Close
not.
to it.
Boy, I didn't love that spot. Okay, it is going to be a first down. So we've talked about the wide receivers who've blocked so well this season. Guy who deserves a lot of love in terms of his blocking, whether he's at fullback, wingback, tight end, is Shea Moore at 34. Just an outstanding blocker. Bess in motion here. Coach, he's creeping forward again. And they got him that time. So it's interesting. Bess seems to be suggesting, well, I was trying to anticipate the snap count, and they didn't snap it, but you still can't be creeping forward like that, can you?
That in basketball. Get to the hoop.
Well, he's athletic as can be. He can do pretty much whatever he wants from an athletic standpoint. But the problem with that, and we've talked about this, is Coach Junko is so good about keeping them in manageable second and third down situations. You do not want to be in 1st and 15. Oh, he was not happy. Coach Junko was very, very upset. So 1st and 15 now, they went to a different formation. They are 4 wide right now, although one is Shea Moorhead again, who's kind of a tight end. Nice. He is a good threat in the passing game, though. So 4 wide, Jamal sidecar right. Jules is back off center screen. Here comes Jules. Or Jamal. Oh, that was a really nice play by the Canon-McMillan library. Under 20, Gino Calgaro. That looked like it could have been a big gain. Instead, only about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, all things considered, they're probably happy with giving up 5 yards. But again, positive yardage, 2nd and 10, but that's manageable.
I loved the play call. I felt like that could have broken. Sometimes you just get unlucky. A call is a good one, but maybe the execution's not perfect. 2nd and 10, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Panthers with a 7-0 lead. Here's Jules again. He's got some time. Now he's going to run out of time. He sees a man. Keeps his eyes downfield just a little high to Besselman. And I like the fact, I really liked everything about that. It was well blocked, but just a little high on the throw.
And these receivers, I mean, they're getting position. I expect them to continue to be open all night.
Yeah, this is so interesting. I mean, the coaches did warn me about it. So I was told that they thought they were susceptible in the pass game, but it is interesting to see a St. Clair team throw this much, particularly a team that has run the ball as well as the Panthers have this year. So 3rd and 10. This has not been the linchpin of success. Oh, it's another screen. Unfortunately, this one was much better diagnosed from. But look at Jamal pull a guy. This is unbelievable. Jamal does an amazing job. Instead of a gain of 1, he gets a gain of 8. And all of a sudden, you have the ball at the 43 on 4th and 2. This makes this call a little more interesting. Coach and I talk about this stuff every week. First of all, because I would go for it like every play, and he tries to talk me off the ledge because it's ridiculous.
The way the defense is playing tonight, I say go for it.
I love it. I love the aggression. Josh Helmrich, who I'm sure is listening because he already texted me before the game, he's the NFL stat guy, and he talks about how my theory that going for it on 4th and short, particularly on the opposite side of the 50, is a good move on average. So, Josh, if you're watching, my man, they're going for it here. I love it. It's Jamal. Oh, he gets stuck.
Wow.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get it. Really nice pursuit from Canon-Mac. Number 9, Caden Singleton, meets him hard in the backfield. Jamal made him miss, but could not get going again, and the Panthers turn it over on downs.
Yeah, linebacker timed the count perfectly. He was going no matter what, so we got caught there.
It's interesting, Bobby, because we've run the ball successfully, because our line has had a nice surge, did they get overconfident there in terms of like just thinking they could sort of run, kind of something basic and get 2 yards, or was it just a really nice defensive play?
I think he timed up the snap. He was guessing like you used to see Palomalu guess, and once in a while you get it.
Interesting. Yeah, they shot the gap nicely there. So credit to the Big Macs here. Turnover on downs. Panthers still lead 7-0. Canon-Mac back with the ball in good field position. This is Casper, and he's going to get a bunch here. That was the best surge from the Canon-Mac offensive line so far, and Casper gets 8 or 9. What worries you about that is that was what we saw a lot of last week, that sort of exterior off-tackle run getting a bunch of yards.
Yeah, I think they played with a little bit more juice on that play coming off the turnover, so that was their biggest play of the game.
Yeah, the other thing to watch is Panthers play all 3 of their defensive linemen both ways, and it does worry me that, guys do get worn down, particularly with the tempo St. Clair plays in. 2nd and 1 from the 48. They are in Panther territory. This is Casper again. He's got another big hole. He's going to get another gain of about 9 or 10. So, you worry. The one thing that you worry about there with the stop is momentum shift.
That's it. The momentum shift, and they're getting a push right now. So you wonder, do you burn a timeout, let the guys rest up, or do you just stand strong and let them ride?
Coach, what's your thoughts there?
Better. This isn't going to be a 3-and-out series.
No, absolutely not. That was a little better there at the point of attack, but he still sneaked through there and got about 5 or 6 yards. So Panthers are going to have to get a little more stout at the point of attack here, Bob.
Yeah, they're getting a push right now on the front line, so we got to push them back.
It'll be interesting to see if they commit a few more numbers to the box here. Last week when they did that, I felt like Bethel was able to go wide, sort of take advantage of our pursuit. This is Casper again. He's going to get to the outside. He gets by. Stoll couldn't quite contain him on the inside, and he's going to get about 10 all the way down to the Panther 25. So the Canon-Mac's got a little bit of juice going in the run game right now.
Number 21, Tyler Cicchini.
So talking to the kids this week, one thing they thought they did not do a good enough job was they said it was a lot of zone read runs, and they didn't do a good enough job coming up aggressively from the secondary and in run support. They said that was going to be one of the adjustments this week. It'll be interesting to see if that's the case. This is the other back. Oh, fumble. Oh, no, it's his helmet. I take it back.
Yeah, and some of those zone reads, you could freeze the D-line, and that kind of stops the momentum, and before you know it, they're 4 yards down the field.
Yeah, that was Caccini, the backup back. I think he's been the runner on the last 2 plays. Nate Stoll made a really nice hit there as we run. We have about 27 seconds left in the first quarter. So Stoll's got to come out due to the helmet flying off here, and Zach Ehos, 52, will be subbing into the football game. Not sure exactly what's happening. Did somebody call a timeout here, or do they think the clock is going to run here and we'll...
I don't know. If I was Canon-Mac, I'd keep pushing.
So would I agree with due to the fatigue factor. I don't know how many guys they play both ways, but keep in mind Canon-McMillan is a 6A school, a much bigger school than St. Clair. It would sort of suggest to think that they may have bigger numbers. But that didn't help. It was interesting. The Mount Lebanon game I sort of thought was going to be like that, as Lebo is a much bigger school, and I thought St. Clair wore them down.
Yeah.
We're the more physical team at the point of attack. So I'm not 100% sure what's happening here. No, they reset the game clock instead of the play clock. It was supposed to be the. I think what's going to happen if they get this correctly is, unless the clock is stopped, they will run it and it will be the end of the quarter. But because I don't think I don't think there was any reason for the clock.
Coach Junko's really upset, John, to that official. I'm not sure what happened, but
you're right. That's more animated than I typically see him in terms of getting on officials.
this may be the end of the quarter.
It is, but so they blew the whistle to stop the clock after the helmet came off, and then they never started it, but somehow the quarter ended. So I have no idea.
Hey, it's a well-needed recharge. I think Canon-Mac had the momentum. I'm not sure what the choice was or how the quarter ended, but I'm glad it did. And let's come back and get the push and get them out of here on this.
Yeah, Bob. Football is a funny game that way. The momentum shifts seem to be a little more tangible than in a lot of other sports. But that being said, you still have to consider yourself happy with if you're the Panthers. You're up 7-0. You drove the ball the second time. The offense has looked very good. It's just a matter of trying to get a stop here, preventing the points, and then getting back on track, I guess, with the ball in your hands. Because really, the first quarter went very much according to script. 2 3-and-outs. They possessed the ball on both drives, ran some clock, but unfortunately that fourth down was a big momentum shift, and I think it was, the Panthers sort of, their energy got sapped a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, and they started out on 1st and 15, and just those little details in these games where the margin for error is not that large, and look for them to get a stop here and get back on offense.
All right, so 2nd and 9. Do you think Canon-Mac's going to still sort of try to go big with the run here, or are they going to try to sneak a pass here at some point?
We'll see. I mean, the pass they haven't been able to pull off. We've gotten the pressure and had great coverage, so they've only had success with the run, but we'll see.
I wonder if they feel like they're sucking guys in. Because, they run out of formations that we run out of, which have a lot of receivers out, so they're trying to spread the field a little. All right, so they do fake, and they are going to throw up the field. This is Winkelbach. He's open. Nice job. So Tyson Swigert, 19, the other safety, came over and did a really nice job getting his hands in on the ball and deflecting it away. So really nice stuff from Swigert there in coverage.
Yeah, he was right on him. Great to see, Swigert. Even if you don't always get the reps in the regular game, I think oftentimes, when D-backs will sub in, you give a huge cushion. Swigert was right up there on him. Played that ball perfectly.
Yeah, he's played a good bit, but he's probably going to have to play a more prominent role, particularly on the flank because of, that's Winkelbach. That's their best guy. So now Evans is back to throw. He's looking in the slot. He's going to throw high. Groniger was there. He was ready to meet him had the ball been on target, but it was thrown high. Evans has been a little pumped up, I feel like. His throws have all been high almost.
Yeah, he's got to get that under control, but, yeah, for now, good for the Panthers.
All right, so we have 4th and 9. This would be a 41-yard field goal. I don't know what's happening here. I don't see many teams that have a 41-yard field goal guy. St. Clair does, but I'm guessing, and so did Lebo. Lebo's kicker was great. So Evans is coming back out on the field. I will notice that the Panthers did not get any pressure there, so I wonder if they changed the strategy up here.
I think they try to spread this out, give the quarterback room to run, and hope he gets it.
Interesting.
So let's contain him here.
Interesting. All right, Casper is beside him again. Otherwise, we got receivers, and they look like they were in motion again. Now, a timeout before that. So apparently the coach was not satisfied in terms of what they were going with. This is a pretty big play in the game. I know we're early second quarter, but this is the first sustained drive from Canon-Mac, and it's 4th down deep in sort of scoring territory here.
Yeah, this could be a 14-point swing potentially.
Absolutely. So the good news is the Panthers' defense has scored a bet not break. The bad news is this is still sort of the danger zone. Coach, anything you expect to see here?
I think they'll pass because that's what that quarterback likes to do. This is a tough call for a coach. 4th and 9. You're. Oh, do you call it to the end?
Well, Yeah, that's sort of what Bobby talked about. You know, to me, I always like to have an option where you have a mobile quarterback to be at least able to move, to have a threat of him taking off, because 9 yards is nothing with the space that's out there. But that being said, the coverage for the Panther D-backs has been pretty good. Maybe you try to spread it.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, I'm impressed, I have to admit, because you know, depth is always an issue with injuries and things like that. But, you know, some of the guys they've brought in there are playing a few more snaps on the defensive side of the ball, have been excellent so far. So you have Lagoni wide. Julian Dallum is out there on the defensive side of the ball. Okay, here's an out. And it would have been interesting to see if Casper in the open field would have been able to get that, but Besselman looked like he was close on him, and that was kind of what they did, Bobby. They put their best runner in space, said, "Can you make a guy miss and get a first down?"
Yeah, and then that one that time that was a catch, that was a drop. So I mean, they haven't completed one yet. I don't know why they got away from the run, but worked out for us.
I think the good news so far, if you're a Panther fan, is it doesn't seem like Canon-McMillan's been in sync in terms of their pass game.
Gavin, I totally agree with you. I was.
It was kind of like the Peters game. They just never seem to get in sync in the pass game. I know those guys are good. I've seen their stats, but Besselman on the end run. Now he's going to throw. He throws downfield. Oh no! Oh my gosh! It was dropped. So it just was a misthrow. Best just did not come out of his hand right, and the Panthers got very fortunate there. What was interesting about that call is the last time we ran that, it was wide open. This time I thought the Big Macs did a pretty good job of diagnosing it. Cody had a step on his guy, but you know that's if a quarterback's throwing the ball 40 yards. Typically you don't see a other position player throw the ball unless the guy's wide open. So the Panthers will be lucky to get a do-over there. Well, Bobby, that's the perils of trick plays, huh?
That's it. Hey, if you're a receiver and you get a trick play, you're throwing that ball no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's covered or not.
So you can throw pretty well now that the Panthers take time out here.
That's why we didn't have that play.
Yes, you did. Didn't you run that to Mike Quealy? Joe Viviano, some of those guys used to.
Yes, Joe had a pass. Boy, you got a great memory.
I love those teams, though. I got to give Joe Viviano a shout. I got to see him last week. And he's just the best.
We had a player one time. His last name was Conley.
Oh, Mike Conley.
And
Pat Conley.
Yes. So anyhow, the play was Con-I. That was the formation. Con-I, Conley pass, and he was a left-hander. So he would come right to left, and he could really zing it. And we were playing Woodland Hills. And they had they brought in some subs. It was like 4th and 1 or something. And I thought, we're not going to try to run it there. And I called Con-I, Conley pass, and bang,
hit it
in the end zone, So we had him. I just was ribbing Bobby a little bit about it.
I love Pat Conley. He's a great guy. All right, here comes Jamal. Cuts up the middle. Boy, that was I thought that had a chance to be a big gainer. They did a nice job sort of bringing him down. Only a gain of 3 or 4. I thought that had a chance to go for longer, Bobby. I thought it was pretty well blocked.
Hey, we got a good push on that. Positive yards, 3rd and manageable, a little bit longer than you want, but good to get back after the first down.
Yeah, so this is kind of a big play for the Panthers. You know, you want to get momentum back. The last thing you want to do when your defense was on the field for a fairly long drive is go 3 and out. So hopefully Jules can make a play here in the passing game. They fake the run. Here's Jules. He got a man open. Phillips catches it. Boy, the unfortunate part about that was he was right at the stick, but because he juggled it, unfortunately, I think he's going to be just short.
Yeah, had a little space. Canon-Mac closed quick.
No question it was going to be a first down, but. Uh-oh, Coach.
I'd go on 2 here.
So I think they got it, but I'll be honest.
I don't think they did get it.
I know you hate that, I'm sure.
Okay. I didn't want to say it.
I knew you would, because whenever I suggest things like this on the other side of the 50, you look at me like I have 3 eyes. And frankly, if they don't get this, you're dead right. It's going to look really bad. But this is why I don't want to coach football, because, again, these are decisions that are obvious that you get killed for.
They put.
That's close.
It is so close. I'm nervous. I'm sorry. Because if you looked at the original line of scrimmage, it was right at the 24. So, by my way of thinking, this should be a first down, but there's just such an inexact science. Oh, they did not get it short by inches. Boy, that is a huge momentum shift.
Yeah, we went for it twice. Got stuffed. But, hey, if you're playing to win, that's what happens sometimes.
I'm shocked by it personally. I don't think that's happened all year in terms of them going up the middle like that and getting just totally stuffed. I will say this. Canon-Mac is huge in terms of just their pure size. That may be what dissuades you. But I'm sure the Panthers are disappointed. The expectation there, if you're going quick, is to be able to get them on a QB draw before they can get there. So disappointing stuff, and the Panthers defense is going to have to come up big here. I can't believe he wouldn't have you throw a pass, Bobby. No question.
I threw one pass.
Did you throw one?
It got picked off at Hines.
It got picked off at Hines?
Yeah.
Was that against Central?
It was.
God, I'm sorry to bring that up.
He doesn't remember, or at least he didn't.
Josh wanted to throw the ball. He didn't want to trade off on that.
Wasn't Josh hurt? Wasn't that Halakna?
That was
Halakna.
Oh, yeah. I just meant overall.
Oh, no, generally, yeah.
Not that.
Well, I've seen both Bobby and Josh throw the ball, and I would prefer to have Josh throw the ball. I'd prefer to have Bobby catch the ball, though, over almost anybody.
You got that right.
Josh threw a great ball. Very accurate.
Yes, he did. Here's Casper again. He's got a big hole there. It's a nice tackle by Timmy Spear, but all the way down to the 20.
Yeah, he had a wide open lane. They got some push.
Brought down by number 17, Tim Spear. That carry is good for a Canon-McMillan first down.
Yeah, I mean, they're running well. They haven't passed so well, so I don't know why you'd veer off that script.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the passing game has not been there, but Panthers are going to have to do some sort of adjusting here to the run game. It's Casper again. Coach, you can probably shed some light on this only because you were here last week. It seems to be a lot of the same stuff, that zone sprint.
I was going to say that a little while ago, Gavin. Canon-Mac certainly watched the Bethel Park films and they've copied some things. And as you said, they've got some good size and they got a good running back. So they're gonna exploit what they've seen.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I know the Panthers did some adjusting, did some soul searching in the week off. The defense has been certainly better. They haven't allowed any points here, but the offense didn't do them any favors there, both field position wise and time of possession wise. This is Caccini now this time, the other running back, and he's going to get a big gain there, going to get the first down pretty easily. And the Big Macs have a new set of downs, 1st and goal from the 7. So, Bobby, as you get closer to the goal line here, does the strategy change a little bit? Can you cheat a little bit? What do you see?
You could probably cheat a little bit, and with the passing game at Canon-Mac, I'd maybe stack the box a little more than you normally would and dare them to throw it.
Yeah, and I wonder if we see more of that as the game progresses, because you're right. At some point, this is 2 weeks in a row where we've gotten gashed a little bit in the run game. So this is Caccini again. He's going to run that same play to the left. He cuts back, has some room. Banbury stops him, but he still sneaks down, gets about 5 all the way down to the 2. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like a broken record from the past, 2 games where I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff, and because I'm not a football guy, I don't know what to do about it.
Will you quit saying you're not a football guy? Because you do a great job in what you see and what you call.
I appreciate that, Coach.
Don't sell yourself short.
No, it's just one of those things where I wish I knew more about the little adjustments and stuff. What do I do to stop this? All right, 2nd and goal from the 2. Casper, and he's in without much problem. Oh, no, they're going to – yeah, he's in. So we've 7-6, extra point pending.
Yeah, no, I mean, meat and potatoes, just 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. It's not always the most fun. You're not passing and spreading it out, but sometimes it's the most effective.
What is that? Is that the tee?
It's a tee block. That's not a tee block. They can't use that, can they?
I don't know. So Winkleblock's the kicker as well, and he's going to put it through the uprights. Wasn't the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, so I guess that answers the kicking game question. But bottom line is they get a point, and we are tied at 7 midway through the second quarter here, and this is kind of a big drive here for the Panthers. They're going to have to figure it out on the offensive side of the ball, because it does feel like we're at a bit of a crossroads where teams have figured us out on the defensive side of the ball, and offense has got to get going.
Yeah, and I'd like to see, we got the athletes on the outside. They got the DBs that we've had success getting open with. You don't want to play too fast and loose, but that may be something to look to at on this drive.
No, I totally agree with you. And I wonder also if they'll try to take a shot down the field to Bess, because he's been open on that play. Shout out to Al Economos Paradise, class of 93. Always giving me lots of love on the broadcast. I love how love what a Panther fan she is and remains as a resident of our township. We are very lucky to have the type of support we have each week on the Boxcast, and we have our regulars who I have a lot of love for. So, Coach, do you expect to see anything different on this drive? It seems like Canon-Mac has adjusted back a little bit, and or do you think it's just execution? What do you think?
I think Dahlem might run the ball in some form. Nobody's really has an answer to his quickness. So I might think we might see a little of that.
They went short kick that time, which we see a lot of because nobody wants Besselman and Brown to touch the ball with a head of steam. So looks like it'll be the Panthers' ball about the 26-yard line here, and it'll be interesting to see if we do see Jules a little bit more. He is so dangerous with his feet.
As a side note, my longtime defensive coordinator, John Travato, is now the defensive coordinator at Canon-Mac, where he is a full-time teacher. So this is interesting, to see what his plan is versus, the weapons that Upper St. Clair obviously have.
Shout out to Coach Travato. What a terrific guy. I got to say hi to him on the field before the game. So this is Aiden Kahn, the other tailback, number 33, the senior. He does a nice job getting forward movement, gets about 4 there, and push the pile a little bit. So I'm told by Coach Timmy Watinsky, former Panther alum, that you can use a 2-inch tee or an inch tee in high school, grass only in college.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks for the heads up, Timmy. I appreciate your support, buddy. He's a high school football coach in his own right, also coaching the girls hoops over at Wash High. So much love, Timmy. I appreciate the input there. 2nd and 6. Here's Jules. He is going to go down the field. He is seeing Besselman. Oh, Bess went up and he had his hands on it, but Winkleblack did a nice job getting his hand in there and stripping him.
Yeah, well defended. We had a shot. Would have been a game changer, but good defensive play.
I feel like maybe they waited a little long there. The safety got over there without much issue. I'll be surprised if we don't see a little Cody Marn here. I feel like I feel like they're focused a little bit on Bess now after that first drive where he made all the catches. Cody's can be a real game changer. I'd like to see him a little bit.
Yeah, they had 2 guys running with Besselman on that play.
So Coach Junk obviously sensing the momentum has shifted and this is a big play on a 3rd and 6. You don't want to go 3 and out here, calls a timeout. Guys, what do you think here? 3rd and 6 is manageable, but the offense is starting to sputter a little bit. What would you like to see?
Well, from my standpoint, they just threw that long pass, and they have to have the Canon-Mac defenders on their heels a little bit. So now I think they'll do a square out to Besselman to get the first down. And maybe not Besselman, but I'm not trying to second guess the coach. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, absolutely.
They got to get the first down.
That's why I like to get you in predictive mode, because that way you don't feel like you're second guessing. Bob, this would be they like to run that out to you on the sticks because you were the sure-handed guy.
Yeah, it's not got a big highlight, but it moves the stick. So let's get 10 yards here.
Being a dependable receiver in today's game is about as important as you can get, because sometimes you don't get a second chance to get your hands on a football. There's your chess match, Coach.
There you go. Travado wanted to see what's coming.
So while we have a break, I want to set the scene a little bit with the Panthers have Moon next week back in the conference play. Moon struggled a lot this year. They graduated almost an entire team of starters from last year's conference championship team. Then they end back here. They end the regular season with South Fayette, who will always be a very tough opponent. They've been average this year, but it's a rivalry game and a team that's very well coached. So this game is non-conference, but it is a semi-rivalry game. It's kids that have played against each other for their whole lives, and you just don't like to give anybody in your neighborhood bragging rights.
You got that right.
I got buddies from all these communities, and believe me, they all pay attention. They all follow it.
We've played Canon-McMillan for a long time.
I remember that game when you were a junior when we went there. That was a really tough game. It was like 95 degrees.
That was our senior year.
Oh, was that your senior year?
It's 2004.
I just remember I tailgated with like your parents and the Dillies and the Conboys and all kinds of. That's the only thing I remember about it. All right, 3rd and 6. Brown sidecar left. Allen drops straight back. He's going deep downfield again to Best. Best has a step. He adjusts. Just a beautiful adjustment to the ball. He started turning and running backwards, oddly enough.
They just proved me wrong, too. I said I'd do a square out and get that first down.
Last play they had 2 guys on him. This play they had 3, and it still didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great throw, first of all. It looked like Best, for some reason, turned around and started backpedaling, adjusting to the ball. He looked like he hurt his back there. He's such a great athlete. His body control is so beautiful. So Best is out banged up a little bit, and number 8, Charlie Bywalski, coming into the game.
You mentioned that was a good pass, and it was. But the result is all Besselman, in my opinion. He made a great turn on the ball and came down with it. That was not an easy catch for a high school kid.
He's just so fabulous to watch in terms of his gracefulness. Here's Jamal setting up his blocks. Ooh, he gets down, puts that shoulder down, gets about 3. Bobby, Coach brought something up that I liked. What I don't feel like they've done enough of is some of the designed, like maybe fake to Jamal and get Jules out as more of a threat in the run game.
Yeah, a little read option, turn him loose.
And that's a little unusual because he's done a lot of that this year. One of the advantages of having an athlete like that is to use it. I feel like they've been a little more drop back today. So Besselman back onto the field here at the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 7 or 8. Here's Jamal. Oh, that's a really nice cut. Jamal, looks like he got about 8 for a first down. You take it for granted somebody's so athletic, but that cut was just incredible. He just sort of danced to his left.
Not a lot of space up the middle. He got through for an 8-yard gain. Meat and potatoes, blocking and running.
Yeah, those 2 guys on the left side of the line, Stoll and Fennell, are tough. They are tough in the run game. Nate Stoll, I just feel like he has a beautiful future, a sophomore. He's a big Buckeyes guy, Coach. You like that.
Is he?
Yeah, both parents. Here's Jamal again. Scoots up the middle, right behind Ty Lagoni. He's going to get about 4. Good surge there again. Big 55, Mark Banbury, was pulling there, and that was Marco Carone leading the way. You like to see those 4-yard gains on first down. Really like to see that.
We're getting a push, and Jamal's got some pop in his step.
Yep. Plus, it's just set. You keep sucking guys in, and it just sets up that pass. I still expect to see some Cody Martin here at some point. Been calling his name a bunch. All right, so we got a 4 wide receiver set. Jamal sidecar right. Time is ticking down in the second quarter. Jamal has it again. That looked like the read option. He sort of I felt like he was going to pull it away, but Jamal got about 3 there. So looks like they've set up 3rd and 4, which is very manageable from this spot.
Positive yards. He falls forward. We got a good shot to get the first here.
Yeah, Jamal does a nice job with his sort of forward lean. He always seems to fall forward for yardage. What do you expect here, guys? Any ideas if you're putting your OC hat on? Bobby, any thoughts?
How about a square out to Cody Martin on the right side with the Dahlem run pass option.
Guy lost a shoe here. That's McMahon too. You know they don't want him without a shoe. He and Singleton have been really tough in the linebacker spot filling. So they'll get a free play clock here, 3rd and 5. The good news is you're in field goal range. And when you have a guy as good as Bennett Henderson, that is really a luxury. Here's Jules, and that's exactly what we talked about, and they did a really nice job. They got about 4.5. They really had a nice hole there. I got to give McMahon credit. I thought that was going to be a definite first down. McMahon did a really nice job shooting in kind of behind the blockers and getting him down. So now we're in that same situation here, 4th and 1.
Brings up 4th down for the Panthers.
Are they going to go fast? Are they going to go to Henderson here to take the lead?
Just milk some clock and then make a choice.
I'm sort of torn here because that's exactly what you're going to see. You're going to see a timeout. Guys, I'm sort of torn here. I'm torn because I feel like the way the defense has sort of trended, it's going to be more important to get significant points, not just 3. I don't feel like 3 is as meaningful in a game like this. At the same time, because the momentum has sort of shifted back to the Big Macs, maybe there is a benefit to taking 3 points, which
You think they called the timeout to discuss whether to kick?
Yes. Maybe not. Maybe they might be discussing a play call.
I think they're going to go for it.
Okay.
That's my prediction. Come on, Bobby, give me your
Bobby,
prediction.
I want them to go for it. I hope they go for it.
Now Bennett Henderson is out on the field. Very interesting. I understand this play. I do.
I do too, fully.
Yeah. For me, I think had they not gotten stuffed on that last 4th down, actually on the last 2 4th downs, I think for sure they go for it. But they've not been very good in short yardage. I think that's the reality of it.
Pragmatic.
No, I mean that is the reality of it. Fool me once, fool me twice, shame
Strike
on me.
3,
So,
right?
all right, Henderson from the
Nice
hash, drills it.
Beautiful.
Bennett doesn't miss much. If you didn't have such a good kicker, your decision would be made for you. But a guy who's so reliable, you don't feel as bad about it. You're thinking, I'm definitely going to get 3.
Well, I think that's the smart call, the field goal, because that kicker is very good. He introduced himself to me a couple weeks ago. I was very impressed with him.
He's a great kid. You want to talk about a hard worker? Every day, we know I'm a little nuts with my exercising. I think we all know that. I'm not wired right, and so I need that. So I come over to the field in the summer all the time and do stairs and hills, and it's just how I clear my head. That kid is over kicking footballs every day. Every day he's over here with his dad or by himself with this bag of footballs. So I give the kid credit because I know he's a beast in the weight room in terms of working on his lower half and things like that, but that kid works, man. So God bless him. That kid's going to kick in college. And
That's awesome.
Did you know I used to be a kicker, Gavin?
I did, but only because you told me last year on a broadcast. I would have never guessed that.
Of course, I was what they call a straight-on kicker, which a lot of people don't know what that is.
Did you have to wear a special shoe back in the day?
I didn't wear one. I had one.
You haven't seen his calves.
Oh, yeah, he got big calves.
He's got
Uh-oh,
some kick
this is
calves.
trouble. Great
Uh-oh.
cutback. Bennett
Get out.
falls. This is Winkelbach. He's going to go. Wow, and there's the momentum shifting drastically. It was a good directional kick, but Winkelbach did a great job cutting back to the middle of the field through his wedge. The Panther special teams has been incredible this year. That is the first big play against them, and all of a sudden, if you got the momentum back from the field goal, it has shifted in a big way back to the Big Macs, who lead 13-10 with 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Bobby, what'd you see there, man?
Yeah, I saw a short kick. I just kind of looked away. I just assumed it was dead, and I saw one guy slip, make one guy move.
Everything kind of opened up, too.
Just opened up.
Right here on about the 30-yard line, right where the U is.
I guess if there's a positive here, it's that you have the ball back with plenty of time to do stuff. But, it's hard to take away positives, and it's why, I think we talked about going for it, because all of a sudden it doesn't seem like they're putting up nearly as much resistance on the defensive side of the ball. Did not expect to see that on special teams, have to admit that. So Winkelbach, after going the long touchdown, kicks the extra point through as well. He's sort of doing it all right now, and the Big Macs with a 14-10 lead here late in the second quarter over the Panthers.
He's feeling confident right now. See him strolling into the end zone, so we'll see if that fires up some of the Panthers on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question this is a big drive because, you know, when you're looking at it, and this is always something, it seems like every one of my broadcasters in the booth likes to talk about this. The Panthers get the ball to start the second half, and people seem to think, and this is what I don't know about because I don't have the personal experience, they seem to think that if you score right before half and then get the ball, it's like this huge momentum shift. Coach, has that been your experience?
Well, first of all, let me go back. We used to defer if we won the toss.
Which is what happened, I believe.
And I always preferred to kick the ball off because we've always had good kickers. So we'd put the opponents deep, and then, you know, a lot of times we held them. So now when they punt, we were out around the 45-yard line, you know, close to the 50. And Travato used to tell me, says, I like the way you do it because we would run the ball slowly and meticulously, and he felt he only had to play defense once a quarter. So I think what your premise about getting the ball to start, I think it's good unless you get stuffed. If they kick deep and you get stuffed now.
I didn't think about that. So they go short here again. This is picked up by one of the up man. I think that's 87, Michael Albert. It's nice to see big 87 healthy. He hurt himself in the scrimmage, has not played. I do not believe is dressed for a game. He's a sophomore,
nice.
A very big, strong, athletic kid, a very talented kid. It's nice to see him back in uniform. All right, so Bobby, we got 2:28 to go here. Pretty good field position. Is this one of these things where you want to possess the ball, you want to sustain it, or you don't care, man? You go for a big play, you want to get points regardless.
I'd get down on the run, spread it out, let him and Jamal do a read, you know, run pass, or the option here. We'll see.
All right, here's Jules again, and they're going deep. This is Cody, and Cody's got it. So I've been talking about Cody Martin a lot, and there's a reason I've been talking about Cody Martin. He is big, athletic, and been very reliable. Beautiful throw from Jules, though.
But once again, it was a great catch, I thought.
Double coverage. These guys, pick on them.
What year is Cody in school?
Cody's a senior. I've coached both these guys for years. They just are gifted kids. They are kids that have great body control, great hands, and you know, take advantage. You got these great targets out on the flank. So now we're in business at the 30. Fakes to Jamal. There it is, Coach. It's exactly what you talked about. Julian gets the outside. Pretty good stuff in run support, though. That's Urso coming up, making a great tackle for only about a gain of 3.
Great tackle, but it's still 3 yards. We're moving. 2 minutes left.
I like the misdirection there. I thought that could have hit big. Give Canon-McMillan credit. They kept their discipline. He didn't really suck him in. All right, 2nd and 7 here. Canon-McMillan 27-yard line. Jules throws wide. This is Ligoni. Gets a block from Moorhead, spins up, gets about 3 or 4, gets to the Canon-McMillan 24-yard line where we've got a 3rd down.
No timeouts left?
No, they got no timeouts left, and you know the clock is not a factor as we speak with 1.5 minutes left, but it could get there. You know, because you want to be able to run the ball.
The downside of what you're talking about there, Gavin, is we used all our timeouts.
Yes, correct.
And so the clock is running and we can't stop it.
So here's Jules. He got some room. Oh, no, it's deflected and it's intercepted. Here comes McMahon. He's loose on the sideline. They got to get him to the ground. They do. Eos makes a nice tackle, but we're inside of a minute. That ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get out to Besselman. And, boy, it just seems like the momentum shifts have been drastic and have gone against the Panthers for the large part in the first half.
Yeah, it's a tip ball. It's tough. We had some open guys. That happens.
So, the good news is there's not much time left inside of a minute. Canon-McMillan only has 1 timeout left, and they've really not been successful in the pass game. But the bad news is you were in scoring territory there. You had a chance, and you get no points out of it. That's the second time where the Panthers have had the ball, sort of inside Canon-Mac's 30, 25-yard line and gotten nothing. When you look at a 4-point deficit right now, I think you have to look to those two possessions.
Those two possessions, the kick return, and then we've been moving the ball on offense. That's the good news. If we can eliminate some of these mistakes in the second half, there's no reason they can't put up 2 or 3 touchdowns.
No, I mean, you have a turnover on downs and a turnover.
2 turnover on downs and a pick.
Yeah, that's right. 2 turnovers. Boy, it's been, when it's come down to like crunch time.
And the 1st and 15 on the one we got stopped. So
ever since the first drive, they've really not finished.
Yeah, clean up a couple of those mistakes, they'll be good to go.
I hope you're right, buddy. You hate to be on the bad side of these. It makes the broadcast not nearly as much fun for any of us.
It'll be all right.
And particularly, I coach half these kids, so I take this a little personally. I feel badly about that. It comes very obvious in the booth.
Ooh.
So we got movement there, and we haven't seen much of that. That's the second pre-snap penalty for the Big Macs. Probably not a
False
bad
start.
time for them to do it.
Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
All right, so we're still inside of a minute here. My guess is with no timeouts left, 1st and 15, I assume the Big Macs will run it, hope they can sort of gash them and get a big gain, and if they can't sort of live to fight another day, they should be very thrilled with a lead at halftime given the way the game has gone.
Yeah, they should be happy. False start.
So we got another false start. Where was this on the possessions where we needed this to occur?
Think about the main chunk of the game. They had one nice drive, and that was it. So we just got to, second half, keep playing the way we're playing, eliminate mistakes. We should be fine.
False start.
Yeah, turnovers have been a bit of an issue for the Panthers this year. The one thing, talking to the coaches really before the Bethel game, they said they thought the thing that was separating this team from being, a championship caliber team was that, cleaning it up, making mistakes. We're still sort of seeing that. And you have a sophomore quarterback, you have some young guys, but you're seeing some mistakes. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to kneel on it at this point. So, makes sense. So, Bobby, as we roll into halftime, your thoughts about what you saw in the first half?
I think it's encouraging. We're moving the ball. It's just you have those 1 or 2 plays per drive that can kill a drive. So we got to avoid those. On defense, we got to hold strong. I would stack the box. They can't do anything in the passing game right now. I dare them to pass, and that's how I'd play it.
Coach, you've been in a lot of halftime locker rooms. What would be your message after what you saw in the first 24 minutes of this football game?
Well, I would be a little upset with the mistakes. So I would, I think I would get on them a little bit that we had the momentum early and then gave it back, so to speak. And, turnovers are always a big part of every event, basketball, football. So, that, they got to clean some things up.
Well, that is it. At halftime, the Big Macs lead the Panthers 14-10. We will see you in the second half.
Presenting the 2022 Big Mac Band. Tonight, we will turn your world upside down as we feature music from Stranger Things. We end our Stranger Things show with a top 10 hit from 1982, I Melt For You. Flag co-captains Elizabeth Montgomery and Macy Kapler, and our head majorette is Natalie Karwowski. On behalf of the Big Mac Band, thank you and have a great evening.
Let's give it up once more for the Big Mac Band. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the field the pride of Upper St. Clair, the Upper St. Clair High School Panther Marching Band. Directed by Performing Arts Curriculum Leader Dr. John Seibert, and assisted by Mr. Jacob Schuster, Mr. Jacob Rice, and Ms. Tammy Lentz. The band will perform its Believe 22 halftime show. Don't Stop Believing, the 81 Top 10 sensation by American rock band Journey. Believer, the 2017 hit made famous by Imagine Dragons. And the Stevie Wonder 1973 smash hit, Don't You Worry About a Thing. The band is under the field direction of Drum Major Carter Chu. Drum Major, is your band ready to perform? of the pride of Upper St. Clair. On behalf of the staff and students of the Panther Marching Band, we would like to thank you for your ongoing support of band and all performing arts in our schools.
We are back again here to start the second half. We got a little bit of time here. Panthers trail 14-10. Bobby, you got some interesting stats for me here. You want to discuss some of our stat guys?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the first half. We played well. We moved the ball. A couple mistakes, a couple turnovers, interception, kick return. That's kind of why we're down 4. But, I think this second half, if we play the way we played the first half, eliminate those mistakes, we'll be good. 255 yards for the Panthers. 72 for the Big Macs, 0 passing yards. So I think this second half we got to dare them to throw it and just keep doing what we're doing, eliminate mistakes, we'll be good.
Man, what a crazy game to be able to outgain somebody almost 4-1, 3.5-1, still be trailing at halftime. But as we pointed out, you had a turnover, 2 turnovers on downs, and a special teams touchdown allowed. That is really your difference in the football game. Very, very interesting stuff. I will say this, Bob. I'm a little more optimistic, I guess, based upon what you just told me with those stats than I was. Now, I'm sort of a pessimist by nature, unfortunately. I think that's what happens as you get older.
No, and I think don't confuse outcome with process. So you got to stick to the script, and if they do that and eliminate those mistakes, they'll be putting points on the board.
I'm so happy that he did the process versus results thing. Anybody who's watching me knows how much I preach that. So if I can be as successful as Bobby Petrini when I get older, that may be. But for you young people out there who are watching this, absolutely focus on the things you can control, which are your own process, your own steps, and not as much about the results that happen. Because sometimes the process is good and the results don't match up with that process, good or bad.
That's right.
Frankly, you get things you don't deserve
yourself.
sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
So, all right, Bobby, as we sort of head here towards the second half, the Panthers get the ball first. Is there something you would sort of focus on, something that you thought worked? Maybe they didn't go to as much. Maybe they could go to more. What did you see?
A lot did work on offense. We ran the ball well. Jamal had a great first half. We also passed well. The ends, Besselman and Cody, they made great plays. So I don't think you can go wrong. You just gotta, stick to the script. I'd maybe do a little less of the trickery and just stick to the meat and potatoes and don't go off sides. Don't make a false start.
Do you think is there maybe a tendency or something where you think, boy, that the deep ball up the flank has been really successful, particularly in the second quarter? That might be something we want to stick with, or is that something you sort of save in your back pocket?
One thing I noticed towards the end of the first half is they were given probably 12, 15-yard cushions. So I wouldn't mind seeing, lining up on either Besselman or Cody a little bit closer to the quarterback, give Dahlem an easier throw, and just get it to him quick, let him take advantage of that 12-yard cushion and make him come back and play up on you. I'm
with you. I like that. There are some scores that are related to our Panthers. The Pine Richland Rams lead Shaler 21-0, which is pretty important because Pine Richland all of a sudden, after losing their first several, is trending in the right direction. They're going to be a dangerous team in 5A. Bethel's up on Moon like 50-0 at halftime, which is not surprising, but I'll bet when the point 22 decided that was going to be the game of the week, maybe they chose poorly there. Based upon the quality of competition there. Yeah, and the things play out the way we want, we're going to get another crack at Bethel in the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely. The Seneca Valley leads North Hills 26-7 at halftime in another 6 versus 5 type battle, which is the same thing we're seeing here. Sort of a surprising score, I guess. Franklin Regional is up on Hempfield 42-14. Hempfield started 5-0. And has sort of trended in the wrong direction the last couple of weeks. As you're looking at some of the 5A teams, and Franklin Regional obviously very well coached and smacking them around a little bit. So, it's momentum can also carry over from week to week, and I feel like the Panthers sort of came out well tonight, sort of avoided that hangover from the second week, but didn't really sustain it as well. They didn't, but again, I think, just stick to the script. It's working. Cut the mistakes. Although this is a non-conference game,
You only get so many reps. You get about eight games a year plus the playoffs. So let's not waste it and finish strong here.
Yeah, McKeesport, who is number 2 in Class 4A, is up 14-10 on Class 5A number 2 Gateway. Gateway's the team that, Gateway, I think everybody sort of thinks that the top couple teams in 5A are, the 3 teams in this conference, which are Bethel, Peter, St. Clair, and then Gateway. But, you can't count out the Pine Ridge and Rams as well. It's very wide open. The picture is very wide open. So the one thing I like about the Panthers, if they can sort of get their mojo back, is the Panthers have a lot of versatility. They're not as one-dimensional as some of these teams. I feel like if they can just clean up some of this stuff, they are dangerous.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They got a nice balance with the run and pass game, and with the Dahlem's threat of running the ball. They should move the ball a lot this half.
I wonder if they'll creep up a little bit here. It seems like Canon-McMillan has kicked short a bunch of times. It's given them some issues. They're going to do it again. This is Ty Lagoni. He's got it without a problem. He gets to the 35-40, almost all the way to the 45. So that is great field position for the Panthers. That's what you're looking for. If a team's going to kick short and say, I don't want Besselman and Brown to touch it, you creep up, field it cleanly, and make them pay field position-wise. It's exactly what they did there for the Panthers.
Great field position, and you wonder, too, the mental edge you have. They're afraid of your 2 best guys on the return. Certainly something to keep in mind in this half.
I'm waiting for something to break on the run game. And it's I feel like they've been close to breaking one, but they haven't yet. You got to kind of stick with it here. This is Jules. Boy, again, it looks like there are some holes there at times, but those linebackers are coming in, and it's been 9 Singleton and 10 McMahon almost all night, and they're coming in and really been strong in run support, limiting gains.
Yeah, great play on defense, but still positive yardage, okay with that on first down.
Yeah, I am big on trying to establish the run and doing the things they're doing. I'm surprised. I feel like there's gaps there. They're just not quite hitting it. Here's Dahlem. Boy, he was looking for Cody for the out. Looked like a bit of a miscommunication there, a little wide. And this is this is where you get off track. You want to be in third and manageable, third and short. You're in 3rd and 9. The last thing, because this is exactly what Coach already talked about. Getting the ball is great to start the half in terms of momentum, but not if you go 3 and out. That's a big momentum shift. So it's a relatively big play. I tend to use that phrase a lot, and I think I get some eye rolls sometimes talking about big plays in the first, second quarter, early third quarter. But I just feel, in terms of momentum, I see these sort of shifts that come that are kind of tangible. I'd love to see a first down here. Here's Jules. Looking upfield. He's got Bess on the slant. Oh, and Bess just dropped it.
Great pass. Open play, just missed that one. Good play call.
In terms of cleaning it up, it's just a lot of little things. That's a pitch and catch, a play you expect to make. Bess has been arguably the best kid on the field, and he drops a wide open slant, and as a result, you punt it away. So part of being clean is not just turning. It's not just turnovers. It's making the simple plays that are out there, and they've not done that tonight. So here's Jacobo Echeverria, the freshman. He's going to boot it, and it's a good one.
Kick.
Nice punt by the freshman. But no problem by Winkelbeck to catch the ball, and not bad field position, but again, I'm sure the Panthers have got to think the momentum has shifted a little bit back, and I hope they got to start getting them in the backfield, getting some losses, getting them in the 2nd and 3rd and long situations, because they've been successful when they've done that. When they haven't, they've really struggled on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I say you go man-to-man, load the box, dare them to pass. They haven't had a single pass yard this game.
So my one feedback I'm getting here is my man Brett Fisher, class of 97, thinks Petrini's V-neck is very aggressive in the booth. So
it's hot up here.
It is hot.
I had my sweater. I had to take that off.
So they get about 5 on first down. Marco Carone does make the tackle at the point, but again, it's the on-schedule versus off-schedule discussion we had a lot last week. This is how Bethel possessed the ball against us, getting those 5-yard gains on first down.
I think this will be an interesting set of downs, Gavin. St. Clair had to go 3 and out. So if they gain a little momentum here, that's not good.
It is not good. So they're back out of the shotgun again here, and this is he's going left this time. And again, cut back, and he gashed him. And he's on his way. Anybody going to catch him? Groninger can't get him. Here comes Besselman. Is Bess going to be able to catch him? He does, but not before about a 70-yard gain. And boy, oh boy, Jacob Casper changes field position in a hurry inside the 10-yard line. Big gain for the Big Macs. And Bob, when you do suck guys up and they get past that first wave, that's the risk.
Yeah, he made a great cutback, and there was no one there on that next level to get him, and here we are.
Well, we talk about playing cleaner games, but until they clean up the run defense, that's the number one issue facing this football team right now. We've seen that the last 2 weeks. So 1st and goal for the Big Macs. Casper again, he's going off tackle. That was much better there. Trying to see who that was at the point of attack. That was Mark Banbury, 55, and Nate Stoll, 58. They only got about 2 there, and that was a little bit more aggressive getting up the field from the D-line. Bob, is it as simple as getting off blocks right now? Do you think that's really it? Because it just seems like the line of scrimmage, there are creases.
They're getting 1 to 2 yards right off that push, and, yeah, we got to get a tackle for a loss.
All right, so they got the 4 down here. The linebackers are creeping up a little bit, but you got the big man Singleton in the backfield leading Casper with the ball here. Here he gets it again. He cuts back against the grain. Panthers show a little bit of resistance there here. It looks like they shot some linebackers in. That is 58 Nate Stoll again. So we got 3rd and 3.
And you wonder if they'll go for it on 4th if we stop them here, given the kicking game.
I would, the way they're getting forward progress. I mean, they're certainly going to get 2 yards based on the way it is. And really, a field goal here, still a 1-score game. A touchdown here, huge deal, huge difference. All right, so looks like they got a pretty big jumbo set in here, do the Big Macs. It's Casper again. He's going off tackle. Oh, he got hit hard. Shea Moorhead, number 34, the middle linebacker, filled in beautifully. Gets him at about the 1.5. And, Bobby, I think you're right. I think they will go for it.
My prediction is they will not kick the ball.
Why would you? I mean,
he's not, well, first of all, he's not a very good kicker from what I can see. All the good things that young man does from Canon-Mac, kicking's not at the top of the list.
No, I agree with you. I mean, and we haven't stopped them for less than 1 yard in I can't tell you how many run plays. So this will be interesting whether they just suck everybody forward. It's going to, you have to, well, what do they call timeout? So timeout for Canon-Mac. My guess is they will still end up going for this. I would be shocked if anybody else other than Casper touches the football. Bobby, if you think you're pretty confident the back is going to get it, you just don't know where. What do you do? Is there something you can do specifically?
He's got to load it up. You don't want to guess a snap count, but you got to maybe get a blitz with the linebacker and hold the line, get some pushback.
So it looked like they did a little bit better job on the last play, sending Shea Moorhead in a linebacker spot. But I felt like, and Coach and I talked about this last week, we felt like when they shot the gaps with linebackers, we felt like they adjusted well against us and picked the wrong holes. For example, what would not surprise me here is to see that sort of zone read left or right wide so that we shoot the gaps in and they beat that pressure to the outside. What the risk is there if our D-backs do come in. What would you call here, Coach?
I would go, if I was Canon-Mac, I'd go left. I think they've got a lot of success that way. Sometimes they've set the formation right and went to the two-man side.
All right, so as we expected, they are going to go for it. And again, if it's anybody other than 28 with the football, I will be absolutely floored. So, big play here. Early third quarter. Panthers trail. Oh, my God, they're going to throw. They got a guy wide open in the flat, and he drops it. So, look, I'm not going to be critical here. The play call was there, was wide open. But when you've run the ball that successfully, you run the risk of that happening. So give the quarterback credit. He put the ball right where he wanted to.
That was a good pass.
But that is why, that's the difference between throwing and running.
That wasn't the good receiver that dropped that, was it?
No, that's Singleton. That's the big tight end linebacker, number 9.
Yeah, that's tough.
How much do I know about this football game? I said they were going to run left. They threw right.
Well, maybe if they'd have run left, they'd have scored.
They'd have scored. That was the Seahawks.
Sometimes I'm not going to be critical at all. I'm not a football coach, and I think they're doing the Canon-Mac staff's doing a fabulous job. But it's one of those things where sometimes you overthink it. They did make the right call objectively because it was wide open, but it didn't work. So
if the Canon-Mac coach, I wouldn't have called timeout.
So here's Jamal cutting up the middle.
up.
Oh, he sees a gap.
He's
Here goes
gone.
Jamal. Oh, my.
99
He's
yards.
running. Could he get 99? Can they catch him? He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. And talk about momentum shifts. 99 yards for JB, and the Panthers regain the lead.
That was awesome.
Well, I hazard to guess that's a school record.
He's got it.
Sounds like it.
Tony Dorsett style, 99 yards. And, well, okay, we've talked about the big, tangible momentum shifts, stopping them on fourth and goal on a drop, wide open drop, and then going 99 yards. It is hard to imagine a bigger momentum shift than that.
That's deflating if you're on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
That's 14 points.
Yeah, I give Jamal a lot of credit because, to me, and let's see, Bennett bangs it through. So I give Jamal a lot of credit because I think your first instinct when you have the ball in the end zone is to just get the heck out of there and not risk a safety. He actually was patient there, went behind his blocker. It was the right guard, Banbury, and they saw a little gap, and then he took it, and he was just gone because I think what Canon-Mac was trying to do is, okay, you got the ball there. We're going to pin you deep. We're going to push guys forward. Once he got past the first wave, he was gone.
There was no safety, was there?
I don't think so.
I don't know where he was.
I mean, he was going down. He got hit. He kept his legs pumping and popped it.
So it's going to be a big yardage game for Jamal regardless now. I mean, he was almost over 100 with one carry. But, what you look for is your game breakers to make plays. And we just saw that. That's what you were talking about at halftime. So, okay, well, I guess you didn't give your defense any rest. That's the only bad sign. But the other part about this is special teams. I've never had to critique anything on special teams because it's been so good all year, but all of a sudden now we got an issue. So, hopefully they'll I don't know if your adjustment is to kick it deep this time and just do the regular thing or keep it away from Winkelbach. I don't know what you do here.
So let him rip it.
Let him rip it?
Nope.
No, they're doing the absolute opposite. They're going really short. So, okay, they get it at the 30, but again, now they're all the way up at the 42. So it's a hard analysis. What do you do?
On the return, number 32.
You prevent the big play there, but you give up a lot of field position. So, it is, though. Perhaps there was some sort of tendency that Coach Junk saw and was concerned about going forward in the kicking game.
On the run, 42.
So, all right. I think if you're Canon-McMillan, obviously, I think you're sort of business as usual on your drives, right?
They're going to run.
They haven't completed a pass yet.
They should have had one.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, hey, you got to have the exchange and the catch. Here's Casper running right.
There we go.
See, that was really nice.
Beautiful.
So there was Ivory Travers shooting the backfield.
That's what you got to do. You got to stack the box, dare him to pass.
So, Bob, there is your first tackle for loss, your first TFL since probably the second drive.
Yeah. And now we got second and long. We pin them back here. They're going to have to throw it.
It would be nice to get a turnover.
Canon-McMillan's getting a little predictable on first down.
Well, that's something to watch for. But turnovers are such a big part of these games. Coach talked about it in the first half. It'd be nice to cause one. I feel like we haven't caused one in a while. So here's Caccini. He's got a big gainer. So, again, just a big hole, and he gets 11. He gets a first down. Boy,
Remember
that's
when
disappointing.
I said we're going to run the left side? They just did.
Yeah, it's for some reason, and I again, I'm having a hard time figuring it out, but every time they sort of, I feel like we're creeping up, then all of a sudden they get some gap.
Looking for the cutback.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gap integrity like people talk about or what it is, but Panthers have got to be a little more stout here. It was a great first down call, then really let them off the hook there. So Big Macs are in Panther territory at the 47, 6.5 to go. Panthers lead 17-14. This is Caccini again, the second back. He got a ton of room there, and that's what you don't want to have happen. You get about a gain of 6 or 7 on first down, and that puts you in a really difficult spot on the defense.
Coach Buzzy Scott's watching us from Florida.
All right.
Yeah, Coach Buzz of Peters Township fame. He actually coached my wife in high school track, which is a fabulous thing. I've hung out with Coach Scott many times in the basement of Dan Klon's house at Nevillewood. Always a great time.
Or other places that Buzzy might hang out.
No, I don't. You know me. I'm a stay in people's houses sort of guy. I'm a quiet guy. Oh, it's another big hole. Boy, it looked like a bit of a hold on Ivory Travers, but it didn't matter because by the time he got there, it was 6-7 yards down the field. And This is what Bethel did last week. You know, they were getting 15-yard, big, gashing, gaping holes. And I'll tell you what, the thing that worries me is I'm wondering if Junk wouldn't think about subbing a little bit on the defensive line. It just feels like those guys are wearing down a little bit. You know, those guys all play both ways.
Yeah, they're just going off tackle, nothing fancy, just fundamentals.
All right, so it's 1st and 10 at the 22. Casper again cutting it back. It's a nice tackle from Timmy Spear, but not before he gets 8 yards, 7, 8 yards.
They've run the same version of this play 6 straight plays.
Yeah, and Coach talked about them getting predictable, but I guess it doesn't really matter if you're getting predictable if you're getting those type of cracks. So we got 2nd and 2 here. 5 minutes to play in the first half, and the Big Macs are driving. Panthers are going to have to figure out this run defense. They did a little bit better job there. Somebody pushed him back. It's going to be a first down. It looked like Marco Crone pushed his lineman back into the ball carrier. It's still going to be a gain of 2, but that's the effort you're going to have to see on the line of scrimmage if the Panthers want to start getting some stops.
Playing one-on-one on the outside and get some pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you've got to have 9 in the box regardless. I mean, if they want to win battles one-on-one on the flanks, then so what? I mean, you'd rather make them do that. As you see, they at least have to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So 1st and 10, 12-yard line. Off tackle again. That's much better. So there's the linebacker once again. Really nice job from Ivory Travers, number 11. And hopefully that's what we've got to see. They've got to get there. They've got to guess right, and they've got to get them to the ground.
That's it. No cutback there. No room for the cutback on that run.
Bobby, do you think it's easier, obviously, as you get sort of closer to the goal line?
A little bit, though they're not opening it up. So I don't know. I mean, they've just been going off tackle all drive. So we'll see if we play differently. But I'm not sure that it does.
The unfortunate thing is they can get a first down on the 2.
Yeah, I hate that. You're right, because they're going to go 4 times. I mean, it's not kicking's not going to be an issue, particularly with the way offenses are moving the ball here. So hopefully, and that could be a pre-snap penalty. That's a big play if it is. I still wouldn't change your strategy if you're St. Clair. Oh no, I think they called offsides. So offsides on the offense. I guess if it's offsides, it must be a wide guy.
Could be.
Usually I'm used to seeing false start, but
he originally pointed that it was Upper St. Clair, and then he changed his point and said it was Canon-McMillan.
It's just hard to imagine a dead ball foul on St. Clair there because you got to really encroach to do that, and they didn't really have much. So if I'm St. Clair, I don't change anything. I make them try to throw the ball. They're finally behind the sticks here a little bit. But here's Casper doing it again. Good job by Mark Banbury, number 55, doing a great job getting off his block, getting him to the ground for only about a gain of 4. And this is a pretty big one right here. It's 3rd and 9. And, Bobby, do you dare throw it, or do you go off tackle again and say, look, we're going to run twice?
I'd say run it, but, I mean, last time they passed, it was wide open. It was a great call. Certainly more of a passing down here, though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I'd do here. To me, knowing that this is probably 4-down territory I'm Canon Mac, I'd probably run it twice.
Yeah, with the success they've had on this drive, that's a safe bet.
I mean, because, their quarterback's good. I mean, clearly you see his numbers. He's thrown the ball fine, but there's obviously something wrong in terms of the momentum in the passing game. I run it twice. Coach? Do you think
Sorry, there's a kid out here in the middle of the field, and I don't know what's going on. There, he just ran away from Coach Junko.
A young kid ran out on the field. Oh, you're right. I don't know exactly what happened. Who knows? There was a kid out on the field. I totally missed it. Goes to show you I'm so focused on football.
I was watching what was going on, and I didn't hear what your question was.
So my thoughts here, Bobby and I were talking about this. We both sort of think probably 4-down territory, 3rd and 9. I probably run it twice. What are your thoughts if you're Canon-McMillan here?
Well, they came into this night having a pass reputation. And, of course, they just dropped one that had us all fooled.
That was wide open, yeah.
So I'm not sure they're going to run it twice on 3rd and 9. In fact, maybe that kicker's a little better than I thought.
He's not terrible. No, I mean, he's been fine. I just, we're spoiled with Bennett. So it is play action. It's a slant.
Nope.
And it was there. It was a little high. Timmy Spear had decent coverage, but he got a hand on it. That was
See the kid out there coming back from the left side?
from the corner.
He was wide open.
Yeah, I agree. But that's a tough throw. So they are going to kick a field goal, it looks like, Coach. So we're going to get to see up close and personal. I'll tell you what, Winkleblack's been so impressive in everything that he's done. It wouldn't shock me if he manages to figure out a way to get it through. It's not a long field goal. It's 28 yards, but this kid's been good in every aspect of the game so far.
It's a little bit longer than an extra point.
It is, and the Panthers they've had some success blocking kicks the last couple of years, so that's something to watch for.
Nope.
And they got it. And it looks like Jamal Brown, number 7. I think that's dead because it's past the line of scrimmage, but or no, is it Ivory Travers? So it looks like it was Ivory again. Ivory was the one who had the big block last year against Bethel Park in the game-changing play. Just to give you some clarification as to the rule there, if you block the field goal behind the line of scrimmage, you can return it. If it is blocked partially but past the line of scrimmage, it is a dead ball, just so our viewers are aware of that. So pretty big momentum shift back to the Panthers here.
You look at the last 2 drives, 2 turnovers, and that killed us last half, and this half we're capitalizing on it.
Well, just what we talked about, Bobby. The yardage was very one-sided in favor of the Panthers, but they didn't capitalize with points. Maybe that happens to the Big Macs this half. All right, so Panther offense is back on the field after a fairly successful first drive, second drive if I don't say so. One play, 99 yards. They fake it to Jamal. Here comes Jules up the middle. Keeps his feet going. Good push there from Ehas and Nate Stoll. So he's going to get about 8. That's the first down gain we're talking about, Bobby.
That's it. And the way Jamal's been running all game, that's going to really open things up, for Dahlem on that read option.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think after a 99-yard gain, they're probably going to be keying on Jamal a little bit. So I like that play call. All right, so 2nd and 2 for the Panthers. Hopefully they can get a little drive going here. Here comes Jamal wide. Skips through the hole. Dancing through, jumps over a man, can't quite keep his feet, but he gets about 7 to the 35. First down for the Panthers. Good to see not a 3 and out. That's a great sign after you get a nice momentum-changing field goal block.
Yeah, and you're keeping the D-line guessing. They're not coming full force because they got to stay honest with the option with Dahlem.
Yeah, that's what Coach had sort of referred to in the first half, just using that as a threat. So we are 1st and 10 here again for the Panthers. Third quarter ticking away. Here's Jules again. You got to get about 3 to the 36-yard line, maybe 2. But, as Bobby likes to say, positive.
Positive yards. Taking some hits, though, so you don't want to see him take too many hits like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those kids that's really sort of elusive and wiggly. He doesn't seem to take many hard shots, but he's not a big kid, so you're right. You do worry about that a little bit. Be interesting to see if the Panthers open it up a little bit here. It seems like they're sucking some guys forward here from Canon-Mac. They do. They fake it to Jamal. Jules is rolling to the side, and he throws an interception. He just let the ball sail. He got hit, and it's a big turnover. I think that's a situation where some of the youth of Julian Dahlem came into play. Sometimes if a guy's not there, you live to fight another day. Aiden Besselman was open, but that is a really tough throw under pressure rolling left.
It's a tough throw rolling left. One of the coach's rules, what was one of your rules, Coach? Never throw a short ball long or a long ball short.
What'd you say, Bobby?
Never throw a short ball long or a long ball short.
I love this.
That was kind of a tweener. I think it got away from him a little bit. I was surprised.
Sometimes young quarterbacks, they're just trying to make plays. Julian is so competitive that sometimes, it gets away from you. So big turnover. Oh, they're going to throw right away. They got a man open down the seam, but he couldn't get it to him because the pressure was there. Now they roll out. They've got a guy, and it's a first down. So they find Winkleblack. That's the first completed pass for Canon-Mac. The Panthers had great pressure on him. They just couldn't get him to the ground.
Yeah, Evans made a
They
good
didn't
play.
run the ball on first down.
And he kept that play alive. It's hard to cover for 8 seconds, so he did a good job of keeping that alive.
Yeah, so I wonder if does that change your strategy? It doesn't change my strategy if I'm St. Clair. I'm still sending everybody. But here comes the run. It's Casper. And that's Ty Lagoni stunning in. He gets about 3 or 4, but not quite as big of a gain. Coach, you'll love to hear that Eric, your son, is complimenting the broadcast, but he suggests you need my eyes because your eyesight is going.
He's right.
He's right.
And, the dark football and the contour of this glass and the lights, there's things I don't see. And I've complimented you in the past on your good eyes.
Well, that's genetics. I didn't do anything for that. I'm blessed for my dad. He has great eyes. Casper again. No, he doesn't have it. It was a read. Was that a broken play?
I don't know.
That looked like a broken play. Oh, he fumbled the ball. Nate Stoll stripped it, but it bounced right to the Canon-Mac receiver. Boy. So it was a good break for the Panthers in terms of Stoll punching it loose, but it basically took a left turn on the ground right to the receiver who came to the ball. So that is the end of the third quarter, and the Panthers are showing a little bit more toughness of the ball on defense. We're going to come back with a really big 3rd and 8 or so at the Panther 38.
I'd like to clarify something about your eyes.
Okay.
You have good eyes that follows the ball exceptionally well. And you come up with who's got the ball and who made the tackle. So you're also seeing numbers on those jerseys.
Well, I think part of it, Coach, is...
I'm trying to compliment
No,
you.
I know you are. I think part of it is a coach, as a coach, I watch games differently than most people watch games. Even football that I don't know like I know hoops, I watch it differently because I just have an analytical mind. I'm trying to figure things out. So I do watch games to try and get information and analyze. I know a lot of people who don't find sports that entertaining unless they're gambling or something like that. They're very outcome related. I'm not really outcome related when I don't have that many teams I root for. I like to watch games to sort of figure stuff out.
Do you remember what Beano Cook said about gambling?
I'm in the middle of his book right now.
It's a great book.
Oh, it's fabulous. My dad loved it.
But the commissioner, Pete Rozelle, he didn't think gambling was a problem. He says, I think only maybe 10% of the people gamble. And Beano said they must all live in my neighborhood.
All right, so we have about 3rd and let's say 8 here. Big Mac's got to get to the 29. They're going to throw again. They got the back out of the backfield. He makes a nice catch. Oh, great stick. Boy, Gordon Groniger came in like a shotgun there. This may be 4-down territory again. I'm guessing it is. They got about half of it. This is going to be a 4th and 5. What do you expect to see here, Bobby? They're throwing a lot more here. It's not like the Panthers have been super stout against the run, but do you dare try to run another off tackle thinking you can get 5?
I think I would. That's what I would do if I was the Big Macs.
So would I. I was wondering if I was being an idiot.
I don't know why they went away from it. That's when you get in trouble.
Yeah, I just feel like they're outthinking themselves a little bit here. I would give it to 28. I think they get 5. It's all right. The Panthers, notice how they've had Jamal in on defense a few times here. They feel like they're getting desperate, need to get stops. They're going to throw, though. The quarterback's going to run. He's got some room to the outside. He gets to the front stick. Boy, Marco Crone was on him, as was Ivory Travers. He creeped through, stuck the ball with his left hand across the line. That is a huge play for the Big Macs. As we're in the 4th quarter now. These momentum shifts are big, and the Panthers had a real chance to get him in the backfield and could not get him to the ground.
That's a gutsy run. Yeah, I don't think he was going to pass that ball. So,
no, not unless somebody was wide open, exactly. But again, that's what we've talked about. When you have a mobile quarterback, broken plays can be your best plays. So now it'll be interesting to see if Canon-Mac goes back to the run. My expectation is they will. I'm very surprised they've gone to the pass this much. Now they're going to throw again. They're going short. It's a comebacker. And this makes more sense, Coach. We've talked about how their passing game's been very good. Historically, their numbers are very good, but it hadn't been successful at all until recently.
Tonight.
No.
But he certainly has piled up a lot of statistics over the course of the season.
Yeah, you saw in the first half.
I will say, don't you think they're mixing their plays up
more so now?
Than they did.
More so.
Well, they are now. I think they think we're just really selling out on the run, which we are selling out on the run. So 2nd and 2 from the 21 here. This is definitely the run. This is Casper again. He gets through a big hole. He's still going. Or no, this is getting a little chippy right now in terms of some of the after the play stuff. It seems like they've let it go a little bit now. Both sides are jawing and woofing a little bit. So So we got 1st and 10 from the 14. About 10 minutes to go in the game. The Panthers clinging to a 17-14 lead. It's a low-scoring game given how good the offenses have been, Bobby.
Yeah, and then the turnovers on both sides have kind of stunted a couple of these drives.
Yeah, it's just been failure to capitalize, really. Casper again. Cuts it back. Gets still going. Panthers just couldn't get him to the ground there. They had pressure, they had pursuit, but he's going to get about 7. I'm so surprised they don't keep running the ball. I think every time they throw, no matter if they're successful or not, they're giving us a better chance to get a stop.
Yep, they're rolling the dice with that versus the higher probability 5 to 6 yards.
I'd like to know what their yards per carry is on run. It's high. I mean, no question about it. So 2nd and 3 from the 7. It's another situation where the Big Macs can get a first down, inside the 5, which is not ideal for the Panthers. So time to try to get stout here. Now this is the backup Caccini. He runs into a little bit of a wall, but they're going to blow it dead here. So he only gets about 1 there. We're going to have 3rd and 2 from the 6. They do have a nice sort of tandem there. You have Casper, who's really small, low to the ground, hides behind his line, quick. But a pretty strong kid. And then Caccini's a bruiser. He's a big, strong, slashing kid. So it's a nice combination they have in the backfield. A little bit like Mole and Kai were last week. So here we go, Bob. 3rd and 2.
We need this.
It's Casper again.
Great.
He's back in the game. They are going wide, and the Panthers just can't get him to the ground. He's going to be down to the 1, 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. And it looked like, again, they went wide. The Panthers looked like they got numbers there, and they just don't seem to be getting there.
He caught the edge on us. We were there.
That was really the story of last week to me. They just kept getting the edge. I am super interested to, I'd love to talk to some of these coaches and some of the opposing coaches and see what they're seeing on film. So 8:41 to play. 1st and goal for the Big Macs. They're going to go QB draw here, and they're going to get a nice push from the back. It's close. I don't think he quite got in. I'm not sure. It may be delaying the inevitable, but got to be 2nd and goal from probably the half-yard line or so. Evans is a pretty big kid, the quarterback. He got to be. He's a load. He's tough to bring down.
That's a great push off the line. He's over 200 pounds, running it up the middle. So he's got to do that 3 more times.
Yeah, we're inside of 8 minutes now, and time has not really been a factor. It is becoming one, particularly if they get a score here. All of a sudden, the Panthers need a touchdown. It's be a 4-point game, and
timeout, Canon-Mac.
So Canon-Mac called a timeout. Interesting because maybe if Canon-Mac takes the lead, it's not as big of a deal. But
the clock was going to run out. They had to call timeout.
Okay, gotcha. So they only have 1 timeout left. Now, again, when you have the lead, nobody cares. But say the Panthers go down the field and score a drive here, sort of a ball control sustaining drive, you're going to want those timeouts later. So I'm sure the Canon-McMillan coaching staff is a little frustrated to only have 1 timeout left at this juncture of a close football game.
Normally they've been signaling the plays in and so forth. That time the quarterback went clear on over to their sideline to get the play. Then he jogged back into the huddle, called the play. They went to the line of scrimmage. They were going to get called for delay of game, and the coach knew it, so he called the timeout. But they dilly-dallied compared to how they normally.
Bob, you expect another keeper here?
I don't know. I would give it to Casper.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah, I'd probably go off tackle again. I'm having a hard time seeing a scenario where that doesn't at least get a half a yard. But maybe they think the safest thing, no exchange, just go right behind their big guy with the quarterback again. Got a little bit of a shift here. Got a fullback in, very heavy set. Now they're going QB keeper again. Looks like he finally got in with his last surge.
They got it.
Yeah, they got it. So It kind of depends on when you blew that dead. I was a little surprised they didn't blow it dead a little earlier, but
First of all, I was shocked they ran that quarterback sneak again. And then I don't know, this side official, it took him about a week to go in there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of time to get pushed over.
My mind why the furthest guy from the action makes the call. And the umpire who's standing there and the referee who's charging in, they don't call it.
So, 20-17 now. The Panthers trail, and we're in the danger zone, as they say. The extra point is up and good. 21-7 now. They are down by a full 4. They will need a touchdown with 7.5 to play in the fourth quarter. So, Bobby, obviously most of the stuff has worked on the offense, save for turning over the basketball. Does that make you more desirous to keep the ball on the ground, try to prevent some turnovers in the passing game? Does it make you want to go more down the field in the passing game? What is your thoughts?
I'd say more of a maybe 60-40 run pass. No, but I would say don't stop passing. Stick to the script. Limit the small mistakes. Even two drives ago, a drop will kill you. Can't have a drop, and just stick to the script, and we'll be okay.
So while we have a break here, Coach, Connor McKenzie wants to know how your golf game is. That is an important question here as we head
Not
to the
as
stretch.
good as his.
Well, clearly it's not as good as his. And Colin McKenzie has a good golf game.
I know.
How about that? They come by it naturally, not from the dad, I promise you.
Tell him I'll play with them again someday if they, as long as I get to go from the old man's tees.
Yeah, I would play if I got to go from the old man's tees. That's the only way I play that.
You're not old.
Doesn't matter. My game is old.
I think this possession coming up is huge, Gavin.
So it's going to be really short again. This time Jamal comes up, or no, who is that? Is that Ivory?
Is that Ivory? I think it's Ivory.
It is, Ivory Trevor. So he comes up and fields it. 32 is pretty good field position. I agree with you, Coach. It's huge on a lot of different levels. It's huge because if you turn the ball over here, you may not get it back the way they've done against the run. Canon-Mac can shorten the game like Bethel did. The second part about it is they've moved the ball very successfully. The yardage, they had huge yardage at halftime. They've moved it again in the second half. They probably have 400 yards total offense. To only have 17 points speaks to internal breakdowns, and that's not what you want. Well, look at this. Ethan Hellman, the freshman, is on the field at the quarterback position. So I guess 2 turnovers. They're thinking they might go more of the pass game here, and here's Hellman in. Boy, this is a tough situation to put in a cold freshman quarterback. And unfortunately, that does not make it any easier. Run blitz, get Jamal down for a 4-yard loss, and all of a sudden you are well behind the sticks on 2nd and 14.
Yeah, Canon-Mac took a gamble with the blitz, and it paid off.
Well, I'm sure they were thinking, new quarterback, late in the fourth quarter, freshman. They're not going to have him throw right away. So, boy, this is a really tough situation to put him in. This kid is a really, really talented, tough young kid, but to come in absolutely cold in the biggest drive of the game, I feel for him, man. I wouldn't want to be in this situation. So Hellman is back. He's got some time. He throws it wide. Great ball. That's
Beautiful
Besselman.
ball.
That's going to be close to the lead stick.
I think he got it.
I think he did too. How about that kid? I mean, that's a tough throw.
I do know the coaches have a lot of confidence in the young man.
Well, I watched the scrimmage, Coach. I've never been more impressed with a kid like that. Every ball was right on the hands. It's okay. First down.
You don't think there's anything wrong with Dahlem?
Not my guess, no. This is Jamal. He's banging up. My guess is the turnovers, and Jules is a dual threat guy. Jules likes to run the football. If you're just purely want to go drop back and take advantage of what you think are matchups, this dude can really throw. He's more of a classic, drop back type passer. Maybe that's the thought.
Yeah, that was a beautiful ball.
I'm fascinated. Again, you want to talk about a gutsy decision. These are the types of decisions I want no part of. So 2nd and 8 from the Big Mac 46. Hellman's back again. He's got Bess. He's going on the slant. He's got it in stride. No problem. He walks in. What a ball from Ethan Hellman. Unbelievable. 654 yards, and the Panthers regained the lead. About the only negative is they scored too fast. What a ball.
At least we know why they put him in.
Oh, he throws it, man. What a gutsy kid that kid is.
That was right in stride. He didn't have to slow down.
Well, so again, the thought process to me is simple there. If you think he's the guy who can pick apart a defense a little bit better, he's your guy because that's where the matchups are. And you just saw it because they can't cover best. So, okay, Panthers back into the lead. Snap is down. Henderson's kick is up. It is through. Panthers lead 24-21 with 5:53 to go. And hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. This game has got a long way to go and probably a whole lot more twists and turns to deal with.
So there's a stat Josh Helmrich likes to talk about the NFL tracks is deceleration of a wide receiver. And the more accurate quarterbacks, the less the wide receiver has to decelerate. And that pass right there hit him right in stride. Perfect pass.
That's a really interesting thing. I know they were saying, there was some stat I saw on Kenny Pickett. It was something like they can measure the accuracy of balls thrown, like it's not the accuracy of like it's just I don't know what the metric is, but like based upon the pattern and all that stuff. Apparently he was like the most accurate quarterback in the league as of just during last week's game. So he's a guy who's throwing a very accurate football. It's just interesting that they can quantify anything now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Helmrich, by the way, texted me earlier and was like, going for it on your own 35 or whatever, the stats do not dictate, do not recommend that ever. So that's a pure gut call. So, hey, so you win some, you lose some. Junko just made one of the gutsiest calls I've ever seen, and it worked. So, kudos to Coach. So Bennett's going to go deep here. I like this idea because, it's your best chance to pin him. Will Shields in.
Cover.
Good job. Ivory's going to finally get him down.
Great tackle.
Excuse me, I said Will Shields. Ty Shields, 45, is a tank. Went down there and really busted up the blocking and almost got him to the ground, forced him wide. Ivory finished the play. And
great coverage.
Yeah, it's the best thing you can ask for at this point. They got to go 80 yards. So I'm certainly not saying they can't go 80 yards. They can absolutely go 80 yards. But, it's better than giving them a short field again. All right, Bobby. So what do we expect here? You've got to shoot gaps and stuff.
Off tackle. Yeah. That's it.
I agree with you, man. I would not see a pass unless I absolutely had to. Nope, they're going to throw again. They're going deep down the field.
Yeah.
Winkleback had a step on the slant, but honestly, the coverage was pretty good from Tyson Swigert. And look, I just don't see the benefit to that, knowing how easy they're getting run yards.
Yeah.
Could be me. I mean, if he hits a home run there, he looks like a genius. But I
thought he slowed down a little bit right before the ball came down.
Yeah, he might have, but he may have just thought there was no chance. I don't know. It's tough from our angle.
Now they lose it down, and they're deep in their own territory.
Yeah, I mean, again, I run the off tackle again, but here's Casper again. He does have a hole. A pretty good job now that time in the backfield. Shea Moorhead couldn't get him to the ground, but he only got about 5 there. But again, if you're getting 5 yards a carry, why are you doing anything else? The one thing Canon Mac has not been called one time for a hold. Mm-hmm. So, maybe you try to force a hold call at some point. I thought, the only reason I say that is I thought Banbury got held a little bit there. And
how do you try to force a hold? If I'd knew how to do that.
No idea, Coach. You have to probably get some penetration to do that, and that's just not been what's been happening here. They're going to throw again. So that was like they got a nice gain there, but again, I just don't feel like you have to do it. I guess they see the cushion he's getting.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I don't think they can only run the ball against Upper St. Clair at this point in the game.
I hope you're right. I absolutely hope you're right.
The clock is running.
It is. To me, they want to run clock. I mean,
I know, but they're behind now, which is.
And they got another pretty good gain on first down, 4 or 5. The ideal drive here, Coach, and obviously you can't script it this way, is 6-minute touchdown drive. Yeah, it's one of those old, coaches hate having this discussion. But like, if we can't get stops, when do you let them score?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so like anti any coach's DNA to let a team score when you can't get stops. But the clock is a factor. There's no question about it. About 4 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. Panthers up 24-21. Canon-Mac driving. This is Casper. He cuts back. He's going to get about, let's say, 3. He's going to get to the 44-yard line. So we have 3rd and 3. Obviously, it's 4-down territory at this point. So I guess this is going to be, it's almost a math problem. If it's 4-down territory, can the Panthers get a stop with 4 runs? And if they do resist in some of this time, how much time will it take for them to get all the way down the field? It's fascinating.
With one timeout.
With one timeout. Because they're in no hurry, nor should they be. But all right, 3rd and 3. Send in some linebackers. This is Casper. Going to get it easy. I mean, it's 5 yards pretty much every touch routinely. So they are at the 49 now, not quite across midfield. We are right around 3 minutes to play, and Panthers are going to have to come up with something here because it's trending the way exactly as I described. They're able to kill the entire clock, but also get the points they need to get. So. They're going to pass again. And Banbury does a great job of getting in there. Really nice stuff from Mark Banbury. He hit the quarterback's arm as he went to throw, and we got 2nd and 10. I don't understand it, but smarter football people than me seem to think that this makes sense, and I am going to defer to Coach and Bobby here. I don't get it.
I will just keep running until...
At least you're on my side.
It's easy to say what you're saying up here, but when you're calling those plays, that clock is a factor.
It's making you nervous now? You're inside of 3 minutes?
I'm not faulting him for mixing up pass and run.
Gotcha. So here's Casper. Up the middle, he's got 5 again.
Number 28, Jacob Casper on the carry.
So he actually got 6 there. So maybe they're throwing it because they know they can get it in 2 runs.
That could be.
I mean, honestly.
Free shot.
So, it's one of those things where who's going to step up and make a play? You really need one big play from one defensive player. Mm-hmm. A turnover, a tackle for loss, a momentum-shifting play. Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to get off a block and make a play? 3rd and 4, 2:15 to play. It's Casper again. He's going to get it without any issue whatsoever. 1st down at the Panther 39. Clock stops temporarily to move the change with 2:10 to play.
Has Canon-McMillan made a mistake tonight? Turnover?
No, they've had 2 pre-snap penalties to my knowledge, and that is it.
But they haven't fumbled and they haven't thrown an interception.
Not yet.
Turnover on down. So this is 2 games in a row where teams have played perfectly clean against us, which is hard to do as a high school team. These are kids. They make mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. All right. We are 2 minutes now. Again, we're in nail-biting time here. They're going to fake again, and they are going to throw. He's got a lot of time. Evans is rolling. He throws down the field. Got Winkleblack. Great catch. So 18-yard gain for Winkleblack down to about the 21 or 22-yard line, and
Evans was able to buy himself time.
Yeah, now we're getting into the situation where I know you think I'm crazy, where I'm considering letting him score. Because if you don't, you're probably going to have no chance.
Yeah.
If you do, at least you get the ball back.
I could never.
No, I know you couldn't. Most coaches can't. Most coaches can't. And I think the kids would kill you if you suggested it. So that's a little bit better for the Panthers. Only about a gain of 3 there. Van Helman did a nice job, number 23, of coming off his linebacker spot and getting him to the ground. They had big 52 Rocco Dodano, the sophomore, into the game sort of as in a nose spot. They're just trying to get extra bodies forward. So now we got 1.5 minutes to play. I still don't think the clock is a factor other than
not getting
the ball back.
Yeah. Because
they're not going to run out of time. So here's Casper again.
Same play.
Big gain, right? Easy. So he's down to about the 11-yard line.
First down,
minute 17.
I don't know what tripped him up.
I don't know.
I would have rather he scored, but again, I mean, at least, or do you have to use a timeout? I mean, the bottom line is they're going to score with no time left is the option.
Well, Junko's got 3 timeouts.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Like on this series, to me, you at least got to call a timeout if you get a stop. We're inside of a minute now. Offside the Cat. Oh, and Stoll couldn't quite get him to the ground. They do get him down. This should be a timeout to me if I'm Junk. So a timeout is called. Now, Canon-Mac called a timeout. I have no idea why. Maybe they just want to talk it over, but got to give Nate Stoll, 58, a lot of credit there. He is a really gutty kid, and he got into the backfield there. He didn't quite get him down. He didn't have a great angle, but he did slow him up, killed his momentum. As a result, they only really got about a yard or two. So what are we, again, Coach, the dreaded first down at the 1 is possible. Not as big of a deal here because time is so low. So that is the last timeout Canon-McMillan has. So, Bobby, say Canon-Mac runs the ball here, okay, and gets about 4. Do you call timeout if you're St. Clair because Canon-Mac can't stop the clock, but you figure they're going to get it the next time they run?
Yeah, it's tough because you're going to give them more time to regroup and get the touchdown.
The scoreboard says 2nd and 10. It's about 2nd and 8.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, at this point, we're getting close to 0. We got to stop them.
Now, I get both sides of the argument. I'm not trying to claim like this. I'm saying about 2% of coaches would do what I'm suggesting. But, that's – and maybe I just don't have enough confidence in our defense.
I saw that done once at the pro level. I don't think I've ever seen it done at the high school level.
No, because you feel like you're giving up on your kids. That's what you feel like you're doing. All right, they fake it. Evans is rolling. He throws across his body, touchdown. That's Singleton, the guy who dropped it earlier. He gets redemption. So with 42 seconds left, the Big Macs have scored to go up 3. The extra point is big here. Give him credit. Evans did not complete a pass, I don't think, for the first 3 quarters, and the balls he threw on the last 2 drives were on the money. So,
yeah, it was a tough play. I was questioning why they would pass right there, and he did it.
Well, it's a good scenario for the Panthers. If you were going to allow them to score, you do have time. You don't have
3 timeouts.
You don't have a lot of time.
This extra point is huge.
Massive.
If you're a Canon-Mac fan.
Because Bennett can kick from 45 and in. He got it. So now you need 6. You have 42 seconds left. You have 3 timeouts. I'm assuming it's going to be Ethan Hellman is going to be the guy. And I'll tell you what's an important play is the kickoff. If you can get, I assume they're going to kick short again. To me, I would try to creep Besselman or Brown forward, assuming they can't kick it over his head, and try to get them to catch it going straight forward, and, not run a lot of clock off, but try to get to the 45-yard line like they did last time.
If that young man that threw that last touchdown pass, there's plenty of time left on the clock.
With 3 timeouts left, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's why, for me.
That makes your point about the kickoff importance very, very true.
Absolutely. And I, again, I don't want to belabor the point because, it is so difficult, and this is why coaching is difficult, but you do at least want to give your offense, who has moved the ball consistently all night, a chance to, a chance to win the football game. And I think they have it. You'd like to have more than 42 seconds. At the same time, they got a chance here.
There's no doubt, especially with these receivers.
And, Coach, look what the Panthers have done. Look where Jamal is. Jamal is right where the kick has gone most of the time. And it went right through his legs, unfortunately. Here comes Ivory trying to get to the outside. Unfortunately, this is going to take a lot of time. I know he wants to make a big play, but he may have been better suited to just go straight ahead because that took 8 seconds off the clock. Now, 37's good field position, but you want precious time. The good news is you have 2 big receivers who can make a lot of plays. You got to give them several chances down the field to make plays.
With 3 timeouts and that young man's arm, there's a lot of time.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a bomb or anything like that. You can take what the defense gives you, essentially. So they threw the out route to Besselman, which is a good idea, and he's going to get out of bounds. At
nice.
So he got about
Saves
8.
the timeout. Saves the timeout.
Saves the timeout, and that's a good play. I mean, you're going to eventually need to get more chunks, but I think to give him some confidence, get them in a little bit better field position, that's a nice play. Hellman made a nice, strong throw. All right, Panthers, 29 seconds to go. Hellman up the middle. Got Lagoni.
Nice.
He's up the slot. He makes a man miss. This should be a timeout for the Panthers.
Timeout.
They got it. Coach Junko, that play only took 5 seconds, 24 seconds.
Man.
What a ball.
Right in
Beautiful ball. Right up the slot to Ty Lagoni, the sure-handed receiver.
It was a beautiful pass. A very beautiful pass.
All right, so, gents, 2 timeouts left. We are on the 33. We have 24 seconds left. Is there a particular area in the field that you'd like to see them utilize here, Bob?
I don't know. I mean, we got middle is wide open. We just hit. You have 2 timeouts, so you got, left side, right side, center. I think Besselman in the corner, right corner. I still would like to see that. At least take a shot. Give him a shot to come down with it.
It's so interesting because they have those receivers on the outside. I feel like they were so focused on bringing the safety help over to the big receivers on the wings. The middle was wide open, and Ty Lagoni did a great job.
Great catch.
Yeah, he's a sure-hand. I mean, that's why he's the holder. He's the punt returner. He's a sure-handed guy. So, well, if you were looking for cinema, you got it in spades tonight. This has been a great football game. All right.
Those balls have been on the money.
Yeah, fans are into it here. So, 24 seconds to go. Panthers trail by 4
Maybe
at
even
the
give
33.
Jamal up the middle here. It's wide open.
Well, that's a possibility, too. Hellman's back. He gets pressured. He looks upfield. He got Ty Lagoni again. Lagoni get out of bounds. He did. 18 seconds to go. Panthers inside the 20. Ty Lagoni, Mr. Surehands, the catcher on the baseball team, making plays in the passing game. This has been a heck of a drive so far for the Panthers.
Yeah, and I think the outside guys are taking that coverage, opening up the middle, and it's working for us here.
Yeah, you got 3 or 4 more plays. I mean, you got 18 seconds. This is as well as you can script it so far. Very impressive from the freshman Hellman, right on the money so far. Ooh, bit of a bad snap. Hellman is back. He's looking to get outside. He's pressured. He just throws it away. Smart play by the freshman. 12 seconds to go. So the Canon-Mac got through a little bit there. McMahon did, number 10, rushing the passer. Got in his kitchen a little bit. So 12 seconds left. Probably about time for 2 or 3 more plays.
That's it. And a lot of times you want to get the play, but smart by
I'm not sure of the high school rule, but
grounding.
intentional grounding. Do they have the same rule?
They changed it this year, I'm told, where you can throw it away outside the pocket if you get it beyond line of scrimmage.
That's what he did.
Yeah, correct.
That was close.
But that was not the rule last year. I know because I messed that up on a broadcast. All right, cleaner snap this time. Hellman's got time. Now he runs out of time. McMahon's on him. He throws it away again.
Ooh,
so 7
holding.
seconds left. Oh, no. So we got a hold, unfortunately. All game we've gone without getting a holding call, and now on one of the biggest plays of the game, we get one.
The hold's on St. Clair?
I assume
Let's
so.
see.
Where it was thrown, it almost had to be.
Oh.
So with only 7 seconds to go, and we're back.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Wow, it's a spot
Second
foul.
down.
So that's about a 19-yard loss from the 19 to the 38. And now Coach Junk's going to call timeout because you only maybe need one more timeout. So I wonder if this is going to be trying to get half of it. Or do you have the inkling to, I'm just going to try to get it to my best guy deep and take one chance for Besselman to the end zone.
Yeah, you run the risk of, if you go for 2 plays, to run out of time. Or do you think they have time for 2 shots? You got one.
Not to the end zone, no. I don't think so, unless you sort of take a step and just sort of loft it. But it's still 7 seconds. That's
it's a lot of time. Or not a lot of time.
Coach, any thoughts?
Well, I'm a little confused about if that was what did you say, a spot foul?
Yeah, so the hold was in the backfield deep, so it was 10 yards from the actual spot. So we went from the 19 to the 38 or 37. Which is
on the 19?
Yeah, it's a terrible break. I'm not going to get into the merits of the hold, but given that they had not called a hold all night, on either team. It's a tough call in that situation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to give Hellman a clean pocket here. First and foremost, that is the most important element of this. 7 seconds left. Panthers running out of time and chances. Hellman is going to go down the field. He's going to Besselman, and it's intercepted. And the Panthers will drop their second game in a row, a heartbreaker by a score of 28-24 to the Big Macs. So great, valiant attempt to come back from the Panthers, but just simply ran out of time.
Yeah, I mean, great movement on offense tonight. We just got beat at the end. Not enough time on the clock.
Well, gents, your thoughts. I mean, it's sort of a tough pill to swallow. They've now lost 2 games in a row after starting the season 6-0. And, yeah, you have 2 very winnable games left, but I think it's got to be pretty difficult at this point to mentally and emotionally now after losing the games the last 2 weeks.
That's tough. This is a very tough. St. Clair did a lot of good things.
No, there's a lot to learn from the game too. You had a couple small mistakes, clean those up. We get the win, and then that run defense just got to get creative. When you get a good running back with a good push, what can you do to limit the 5 to 7 yard gains?
Yeah. So Coach, you've been around this game for a long, long time, and you've seen it a lot. What do you think the tact is in terms of Coach Junko and the staff, both tonight and then certainly tomorrow and as the week progresses? What can you do now? Because I think when you're talking about run defense and turnovers, these are 2 sort of recurring things that have reared their ugly head.
Well, I don't know that I have any answers. First of all, I was a bad loser, and
so am I.
They did a lot of positive things here. And you can't just dwell on like that last interception. That ball was thrown where they had a chance to win it. And that young freshman took him a long way here in 42 seconds. So there's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of positives to dwell on. I don't have too many answers as far as what to do after one of these losses.
And Bobby, you've been, in some tough locker rooms after losses and things like that. What have you always thought kind of worked in terms to get the kids' heads back where they need to be going forward to reach their ultimate goal, which is to win a championship?
Yeah, and I think it cuts both ways. When things are going well, Coach used to always preach, when things are going bad, it's never as bad as you think it is, and when things are going good, it's never as good as you think it is.
He said that last week.
He said it last week. Well,
Yep.
It's true. That's applicable to things outside of just football. So I think it's trust the process, trust what works. You got a few things to dial in, but 2 losses is not ideal, but it's not a game breaker. You still got a shot to win the WPIAL, and come back next week, take care of Moon and finish with South Fayette.
Well, I appreciate your guys' color and you joining me in the booth. It is always an absolute pleasure to spend time with you, gentlemen. So the final score, 24-28. The Panthers drop to the Big Macs for Coach Render. Bobby Petrini, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Before we break, just want to thank Gavin, the community treasure, the connected tissue from early 90s till today. No one else can say that. And you really are a huge asset for the community, all the time you put in. So it doesn't go unnoticed, so thank you.
I've been telling him that, and not to sell himself short on his ability to call a game.
I'm flattered, guys. I appreciate your compliments. Your kind words mean the world to me. So we're going to sign off for that tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks for South Fayette. Good luck to the Panthers next week as they travel to Moon.